What up, yo?
What up, what up?
The sky.
What up, yo?
The sky.
Warm. Whoa.
I think this is the definition of dead air.
I'm just going to move my mouth and not make noise so you guys think my microphone died or something.
I thought we should troll everybody and everybody just sit here.
And wait.
That is pretty funny.
Do it.
Don't do it.
See how long we could stay silent while people will hang out.
Oh wait, that doesn't work live.
Didn't happen. Oh man.
Edit that together.
All right.
Bingo, bango. Oh crap, we're live. Did anybody else notice?
Oh,
Yes.
shit. No.
Kind of.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to your favorite Friday night YouTube program. Thanks for the support. As always, we do appreciate it. Let me introduce everybody in case you have never, ever watched us in your entire life. To my left here, we have Joe Maple Syrup Canada. We got Adam right up there with the... oh, yeah, that's right. You got that green screen going on.
We're not up and down.
Tricky.
We're reverse order, too. It's not Joe's up top.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's reverse order for me.
Like a side mirror.
Yeah, so anyway, you know who they are. We got our very special friend up here,
You gonna touch fingers with me?
Mr. Chris
There you go.
Stefanovich. It's called docking for everybody.
I introduced you. Wait, no, wait, that was wrong. That came out way wrong. Never mind.
A little bit. It's all good.
That's why we're going to therapy together. Try to sort out our feelings for each other. Your wife doesn't watch, does she?
No, she doesn't watch. She
Okay,
won't come on live streams. I tried to get her to come on live streams, and she's like, "No, I don't want to."
That's weird because she does videos with you. It's kind of the same thing, just in the moment. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I think the videos are easier because it's not like we edit them, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess, if she does make a mistake, you could go edit them, I guess. So maybe there's a little bit of comfort knowing that.
She knows I wouldn't edit it though. She knows me. I just post crap.
So anyways, what you guys been up to? It's been like a whole week since we talked last. I missed everybody.
It's been a roller coaster. I mean, come on. The elephant in the room is like the freaking chaos going on right now. Some scary
nuts.
stuff.
It's nuts out there, man.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I was driving home, right? And I live near it's not really a small town, but it's on the outskirts of Ann Arbor. It's what I would refer to as like a older, sort of rich white town. And they were doing, they had a bunch of protesters. Must have been like 1,000 people lining the main street. And I was just cruising. They're all peaceful, no rioting and whatnot. But man, it was the first time I've ever seen that amount of people in that town, in that street. It was bonkers, man.
Yeah, it's all good, and I see both sides. I really do. I see both sides 100%, but I don't see violence and things like that. I don't get that, but I feel bad for, in my area, the restaurants, because the restaurants in LA County, which is a large county in Southern California, they literally just got the go ahead to open last Friday, and that was like the first night of riots. And
like the first day of business, like customers are coming in, they're like, "Oh man, we're gonna stay afloat. We're not gonna go into business."
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, "Yeah, we hate you, and we're gonna burn down your whole business because bad stuff happened to somebody."
Yeah, it's a thing, and again, like I said, I see a little bit from both sides, and both sides are being dumb, and both sides have some points. And
I seen a really good meme on Facebook, and it kind of explained it. They're like, I'm sure everybody else has probably seen it as well. Which, by the way, if you're not a friend or a member of our Facebook group, go and join up right now. We'll approve just about anybody. Sign up today. So anyway, the meme was like, can't you guys just peacefully protest? And then it had a picture of like Colin Kaepernick kneeling, and they're like, no, not like that. And then it had like an old lady holding up a sign saying, I can't breathe or something. They're like, no, not like that. They had all these examples of people actually peacefully protesting. And then they're like, no, not like that. So it's like, I kind of get it. I'm like, well, what else do you want us to do? Our peaceful protests aren't really getting us anywhere. But again, rioting and looting is only going to reinforce certain stereotypes and make people, make people kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess reinforce their already horrible racist beliefs, I guess. But
yeah, that's a fair thing to say. I mean, middle America for sure. It's going to reinforce majority of middle America's, redneck beliefs.
Yeah, there was just a protest up in my little tiny hometown. And I mean, it's a small little farming community, and they had the protest up there, and there was for the most part peaceful. There was maybe 200 people there, but there was 3 guys that showed up, with AR-15s shouting Hitler and white power and all this stuff. I'm like, man, that's all you need to start a riot. That's just like trolls come to life, basically.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, man.
I think there's a lot on both sides. So I think there's, troublemakers that are not with the protesters that are trying to make them look bad. You know what I mean? That's probably part of it as well.
I honestly think that, and again, not picking one side. And to make this fair, I'll be completely honest. I'm registered Republican, and I lean a lot further to the right than anywhere. But I can't be categorized completely as that. So I see and care about a lot of different things, and I see both sides being assholes. I see people starting shit basically on both sides to try to piss off the other side, and I see this getting really political right now too. I really think with the election coming up that this is being driven by politics really bad right now.
Yeah. Oh man, you almost caught me. I almost wanted to go down the political hole, but I'm not going to go down that.
Yeah, no, I don't have like it's really easy because I have certain beliefs, but then, if someone tried to make me the poster child for a Republican, that wouldn't be me, because I'm way liberal when it comes to human rights and different things like that. And so you can't really label me, but I mean, technically I'm registered Republican, but honestly, I'm registered Republican for business, just because I own a business and I wanted to see change with the business stuff and finances and different things like that. But again, I see both sides. It's very interesting too. Again, without going too political and stuff, I had an interesting conversation with my 21-year-old sister, and she shared her beliefs and her thoughts and her reasoning behind why it's okay for violence. And that hurt me. That really, to listen to her brain, and she's a 21-year-old female, and to listen to her brain rationalize violence is a scary thing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So I had a heck of a day today. Heck of a freaking day. Barely made it back on time.
Yeah, let's hear about your depressing day instead of the world's depressing week.
He got in an hour before their show, so you must have.
It was like a half hour before the show started. I think he rushed in. Did you even have time to take a shower?
I took a shower. I ate a cheese quesadilla and ran out here and started playing
Vagina
with the buttons.
With the buttons.
Nice. And it worked out pretty good. We work here anyway.
Man, I wish I had. I'll have to show next week. I wish I was prepared to show you guys. You should see this. We did a furnace and air. This furnace was like the craziest setup you've ever seen in your life. It's just hard to describe. It was, whatever. So I was trying to make it like really legit with the guy, but I was trying to move the furnace over like 2 feet and just extend the, basically, the return drop comes over the filter, and I was going to extend that all the way over. But he's like, that takes up a lot of room. I'm like, yeah, but you're going to get so much better airflow out of this. It's going to work so much better. No. So I had to make some crazy freaking box and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so.
All on site?
Hackery job, yep.
Why hackery?
It was just hacked up. Dude, everything was hacked up. The gas, the electric was all BX, everything, so I ripped it all out.
Fixed it.
Ran it, with conduit. Yeah. I don't like leaving hackery, Joe,
Yeah. I know where you're getting at, but I'm not posting that one. I might in a different angle, but you thought you were referring to another side job I did not long ago. Put it this way, the customer is going to be changing their furnace, but not as yet, and I really had to box out their supply. They couldn't put a case coil in. Well, I could have. There's always a could if I cut back some of the branch lines, yada yada yada, but for the money, for the time,
the juice wasn't worth the juice. Yeah. Hey, my company's motto, Joe, is changing the world one furnace at a time.
With money, yeah. So this coil was probably out of this stream at least. I'm not going to say at least 2 inches for sure.
At least bare minimum.
Yeah. But anyways,
good.
It happens. Hey.
So I had a reach in that I had to go out on. The same customer that I had a video. I think I labeled the video title like the other company couldn't figure it out again or something like that. And it's out of my service area. I'm just helping the customer out, and so I got to call on a reaching cooler, and they called me out there, and that it has a top section and a bottom section, so it's separated. And they said the top was working fine, but the bottom wasn't working. So it's a little cart. I pulled it back to a place where I could work on it, and I go to open it up, and I'm diagnosing it, and didn't really notice anything weird. And then I open up the control panel where all the controllers are, and I'm looking in that, and a little roach runs by, little itty bitty cockroach. You know, and it's like, oh, there's a roach in there. That's not good. And I've seen that before. And then I whack the back of the box.
Oh no.
Hundreds.
Oh.
They're coming out of the temperature controllers. They have a nest.
Oh man.
Roach nest in the temp control. And the thing's under warranty too. I'd already called the manufacturer, got a warranty authorization number. And then I'm like, well, see, as a business owner, when I see that, I think, yes, no more warranty.
Yeah.
So, and then I get to charge them for it. But then, so I'm going through it, and there's a temperature controller for the bottom. It's infested with roaches. There's a time clock. Don't even ask me how they got in the time clock. It's infested in the time clock. And then the temperature controller for the top, same thing. The top was working, but that thing is infested with roaches too. I had a shop there, and I'm just sitting there sucking them up, and they just keep coming and coming. There's nests. So I just told them, I was like, I gotta change. I just give them a big old long list of stuff, and they're like, yeah, just do it all. I haven't done it yet. We just ordered them, but
you should have
and all of that's out of warranty.
Yeah, because it's under manufacturer's warranty. The Region's only like 9 months old.
It's with a year, right? I believe.
No, they most refrigerators have 3 years parts and labor now.
So what's the reason for all these cockroaches running around?
Just the store's infested. That they I mean, it's not like they're in the food, but see, roaches aren't gross to me. Like I see them, it's not a normal thing. I mean, roaches are, you know, they're not the cleanest thing in the world, but
you don't have to see them in restaurants though.
Yeah, but I've seen this many times before. It's a nasty restaurant. I probably wouldn't eat at that particular one. But the thing is that if I go and change those parts and they don't solve that problem before I change the parts, they're just going to come back.
Yeah,
you know,
same problem.
Yeah, and so it's like that's why we got to do it like together. So I ordered all new parts where the roaches were infested, and then they got to like clean the whole area, get underneath the fryers. Mainly when restaurants don't clean up like fryer drippings, and you know, there's like a cabinet next to it with, you know, just a bunch of crap in it. They're just not cleaning good enough. It's also a really old restaurant, so it's almost impossible to clean it thoroughly, you know, because they didn't maintain it. But that was an interesting one. I don't think I got video on it either because I really wasn't planning on videoing it. And it's like, damn it, I wish I would have.
Awesome.
Yeah, everywhere.
That would have been awesome. That would have went viral, man.
I might be able to have clips. Those are the videos that get me in trouble though, because people ask me,
you make a place go out of business with a video like that.
Hey Joe, you just uploaded a video.
Yeah, that was 2 days ago.
It just popped up on my phone right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
it really just popped up and said HVACR North.
Real time.
That's really weird.
You know what I've always found is like the you call them like sort of sit down casual restaurants, fast casual maybe.
Yeah.
Those, and I do a lot of hot side work in kitchens and stuff. Those have always been just the dirtiest restaurants in comparison to like fast food restaurants. It's crazy. I'll go and work on fryers. And of course, fryers will always be gross. I don't care what restaurant you're at. Fryers are always gross. But for the most part, some of these fast food restaurants, you know, like your Mickey D's, your Arby's, your Hardee's, your Burger King, maybe not Burger King, but you know what I'm talking about. A lot of these fast food places, man, they're not that bad. And you get in these casual dining places, you know, and it's just nasty.
Bill, when I was 15, for probably 6 months, I worked at McDonald's. And I got to tell you, they really put you through the ropes, you know, as far as like cleaning. And I remember that grease thing you pull out, and they have this like cart that you dump it in, then you bring it to the back, and they have a truck that comes with it. Yep. And you really, I mean, they make you clean everything every single day, you know?
Yep.
So
if you're leaning, you're cleaning.
Yep.
I used to be a general manager for a Wendy's franchise for a number of years, and it was just hammered into us over and over again. If you're leaning, you're cleaning.
You know what I found?
Cleaning.
You know, we figured out though. So you basically pre-cook a lot of your meat, and you keep them in these like little drawers that keep them warm and humid or whatever. And there was one, like, nobody ordered the fillet of fish or fish fillet or whatever it's called very frequently. And so we didn't like cooking them because it was a pain in the butt. You have to fry them and not on the grill. So we found there's a sensor in there, and it would ring after a certain period of time. Well, if you put a pickle on the sensor, it would shut off.
You put a pickle on the sensor.
Oh my god,
Man,
that's hilarious.
that's crazy, man. I thought you were gonna go into a story about I don't know, eating old fish fillets or something.
No, but we did. One of the shenanigans, dude. This is probably a stupid story. I mean, who wants to talk about McDonald's? But we broke one of the deep fryers. We stuck a whole brick like this of cheese in the deep fryer, and it was out of order for like 3 weeks after that.
Oh wow, yeah, you can't do that. No, they're not designed to deep fry a brick of cheese, man.
Hey, I was like 15.
When I was a general manager at Wendy's, man, even before I became a general manager there, those were the days of my life where I ate the best. And it was all for free too. But the thing for me was I never liked the fresh food. So at the end of the day and at the end of my shift, I would go to this waste bin, you know, where they had all the old orders that were wrong and everything. You know, like, oh, I asked for cheese on that. And like, or no cheese, or whatever. They throw it in this waste bin, you know, and it's just a pan, you know, like sitting next to the sandwich station. I would just take that pan, dump it in a bag, and go home. That was my food for like 2-3 days.
I guess that's why you gained all that weight.
Probably. That's why I got real fat.
Shannon asked a good question in the chat. He asked me if I've ever been to a place that's so bad that I had to report them.
Oh, yeah.
No. The only thing that I would risk losing a customer for would be like a human rights violation, or something that like, oh my, I mean, I guess there'd be a point where I would say, okay, yeah, I need to report this person. But if I see roaches, that's not my business to report that. I'm not going to lose a customer over something like that.
We called on actually the first job my company got. We ended up replacing like 285 or something, give or take a few furnaces at this apartment complex. And there was one apartment. This dude, something is off. I'm telling you, I think he's got like a mail order bride or something. And I told the maintenance man, they came in there because he like tarped everything off, and then he had like a picture of him and this girl. She was sitting on his lap and she was like crying. It was really odd. So we told him, and the maintenance man called the police. The police were like, "Well, what do you want to report?" We're like, "Something's not right. Like something's just, I don't know what it is, but something's not right with this guy."
Yeah.
And then there was probably nothing they could do. They probably just like asked him to come to the door. He said, "No, everything's fine." And they said, "All right."
Yep.
Yeah.
Hashtag pickle sensor. Any luck on hiring anybody, Bill?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. No, actually, we're not really looking right now. We're just in the process of calling back the rest of our guys. So,
okay. That's
although, I mean, we're always looking for good technicians, but I don't know.
You and me both.
I've been trying to. I've been putting it out there. I actually have a guy that I'm talking to. Unfortunately, though, he lives a good 60 miles away from my shop, which it's like, that's a hard one because that's a solid hour from my shop. And it's like, man, I really would have a guy 10 minutes from my shop, you know?
You know, that was a big thing. Actually, somebody that is in all of the, you know, Chris's shows, Zach's shows, all of us, one of the viewers applied for a job with me, but he lives like an hour and 20 minutes away.
Yeah, it's a hard, as a business, you got to think like, hey, I got a turnaround time. Like I try to commit to my customers a 2-hour response time. Well, if you think of the worst case scenario on an overtime call on a Saturday, it's kind of hard for someone to, you know, they could be in the middle of something, like, so it's hard for them if we have an hour drive somewhere. It's just, I don't know.
Right.
This guy has good qualifications though. Really good qualifications.
Yeah. Is he NATE certified? YouTube certified?
I actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I probably need to shut my damn mouth, because
if I ever interviewed a guy and he walked in like with one of your HVACR hats on, Chris, I'd be like, how much do you want to get paid? What do you want me to pay you? Obviously, you've seen his videos.
HVACR hat right there.
Yeah.
Someone had asked in the chat too. I know that elephant in the room. When are the shirts going to go on sale? I kind of hit a speed bump on that one, but they're going to go soon. I know I keep saying soon. I'm just working on the website. So
nice. Well, good. I can't wait. I'm going to order like 2 of them.
2 of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to wear them together. Okay.
Sounds good. I hope that these things go, because that's a stupid, ridiculously expensive investment that I had to make for those shirts. So I hope that they go.
I can only imagine, man. How many shirts you get? Like 300?
288.
Dang.
We ordered 7.
Yeah, we pulled all our money together from our YouTube account, and we could only afford 7 shirts.
Yeah, right. There's no YouTube money.
Yeah, we don't get no money from YouTube.
You know who else is ordering shirts? Gil. Gil's ordering shirts right now. He's in the process.
Mr. Gill.
Yep.
I already emailed him because I want to get me one of them shirts, man. Those shirts look pretty cool.
He's sending. Well, actually, he's giving. He's ordering from the same guy, my friend that Chris ordered from. So he's leaving shirts for us, for all 4 of us.
Oh,
nice.
cool. That's cool.
I'll probably get one of those shirts before I get one of our shirts.
Oh, that's good. So that's awesome. That
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Your buddy, I can say his name, right?
Yeah.
Your buddy Mike is doing for Gil too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Gil had reached out to me, I think, a while back, if I remember right. And then I just told him, yeah, because I think Gil liked the shirts because I gave him a bunch at AHR. And then I was like, yeah, talk to Adam. Adam's buddy did it. And that's cool.
Cool. Yeah. So what else?
Nice to support local people and stuff, you know? So
he's a hustler. He works like 12 hours a day.
Does he really?
He's like, yeah.
Is that his only job then? Like he runs a business doing this?
Well, he works for a I don't even know what you would call it. So pretty much like all the national act bands that you listen to on the radio, he like designs, makes, and ships like 2 different venues. Like he'll send like 10 crates of shirts to
so
one.
if you can get me a Selena Gomez shirt.
Probably.
You and Selena Gomez.
That we don't have to pay $75 for?
Yeah.
It's funny too, because you know that those concerts buy in bigger quantities than I do. And then when you see how much I pay per shirt and you're like, wait, and they charge $75 a shirt.
Yeah. They're paying like
and
nothing.
you know they buy in bigger quantities, so they get it a lot less than I do. So, and
the crazy thing is, so they don't ship, they don't bring the shirts with them to venues. He'll look at the numbers of who showed up at the venues in the previous shows, and then he'll look up the sales for the previous show, and they estimate how much they have to ship. So daily they're shipping out crates and crates of, so, but yeah, that's his day job. And then he also freelances on the side.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
I heard outlaws were jailed. Anyways,
Nice.
How was your week there, Bill?
Well, it wasn't too bad. Actually, it's funny you should ask Joe, because I seen something this week that I've never seen in my entire HVAC career.
Sweet.
This guy is simple, kind of funny, but I'll tell you all about it here. So I went to this auto parts store complaining about no AC, and get up on the roof. The one unit's got a broken belt. Actually, no. Yeah, the one unit's got a broken belt. And then the other unit, I think also. No, they both had broken belts. Anyway, so it was off on a high temperature limit switch code, right? It locked itself out and all that fun stuff. So I put a new belt on there, reset it. But before I did that, I was just kind of visually inspecting everything. And I just happened to look in the control section at the contactors and the capacitors, and somebody at some point in time, this unit had a failed 5 ultrafarad capacitor, right? And it's got 2 condensing fan motors. Each one requires a 5 UF capacitor. So what somebody did is they took a 10 UF capacitor, put it in place of the 5, then wired both motors to that 10 UF capacitor. Never seen that before. Obviously you can't do that. I mean, it's only a small difference, but
you can only do that. What they're trying to do, you can only do that when you're trying to make a capacitor. You can't reduce a capacitor with a single capacitor
and then expect it to like somehow evenly divide the phase shift between the 2 motors. So in my invoice, I was like, yeah, we'll replace the capacitors, but keep in mind, you may have damaged these condensing fan motors beyond repair. So,
but they could have. I mean, you can reduce a 10 with another 10.
Yeah, you can reduce with 2 capacitors, or you can increase with 2 capacitors, but you can't reduce with 1 capacitor.
So if you wire them in, let me see if I can remember this correctly. So you wire them in series, then you can add them together, and you get like if you had 2 10s, you get a 20 UF capacitor. But if you wire them in parallel, then you divide it, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not divided evenly. It's like
if you have the same capacitor, I believe it is divided evenly. If you have like a different size capacitor, it ends up being really wonky. It's not like you could take a 10 and a 5 and you'll have a 5.
Yes.
There's like I can't remember. I always have to look it up, but there's a little formula.
I always thought like the smaller one basically divides into the larger one, and that's your end capacitance.
I always look it up. I'm bad with stuff like that.
Interesting. Hamilton Mechanical says correct. I don't know what he's talking about, but
Got correct. Okay.
Yeah, something one of us said is correct. So that's all we need to know.
So I gotta-
Randy says yes too. Sorry to cut you off, Chris, but yeah, Randy says yes too. So that also means we were correct. Randy, say hi to Luke for us. We missed that in the beginning.
In series, it's halves and parallel doubles. That's what it is.
I like how you just trample all over me like I'm just a piece of dirt, you know?
Anyways, how are you guys doing over there on the other side?
Let's clear it up, guys. We got mixed up.
You guys are just jealous.
Clive and John, it's the opposite.
Wait, what?
Parallel is added and series is.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
See?
Whatever.
Who said we were geniuses? Nobody.
Until you got to do it.
Yeah. Because parallel, you would connect like either common to common, right?
Yes.
And then whatever you do, 5 to a 10 to get a 15 or whatever. Yep.
So with this whole like slow down quarantine thing, I'm going to change something real quick because I've been going crazy. Have you guys been obsessed with anything? So I'm stuck at home, not so much anymore. I'm busy now, but I still can't get it off my mind. And I think I've told all you guys this too, but I'm obsessing over kayaks right now and I cannot stop, like to the point that I know that if I go buy this kayak that I want to buy, that's ridiculously expensive, I will probably use it 7 times and then it'll just sit there. But like, do you guys do that too? Like where you just feel like you have to have something and then when you finally do get it, you're like, eh.
Yeah. I don't really want it that bad.
I ordered another gun the other day.
How did that go?
Yeah.
I actually ordered it. Somebody mentioned in the chat, Bass Pro online, and they say, oh, it's going to ship to the store in 4 to 5 days. We'll send you an email when it shows up. Do not come to the store until you have the confirmation email. And, you know, so I get an email about 4 days after, and they said, you took too long to pick up your gun. The order has been canceled. And I said,
wow.
What?
Oh, wow. What a bunch of dicks, man.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. So
Susie says we should go loot or I should go loot and get a kayak. Can you imagine my ass dragging a kayak down the road, just running behind me?
Outrunning the police.
Yeah, I want one so bad though. I feel like I'm gonna do it, but I just can't let it go. It started from another. I don't know if you guys watch any of these YouTube videos with these treasure hunting people. So I watched this guy. Dally MD, DALLYMD, and he goes scuba diving and in creeks and rivers and whatever. And he has a buddy I can't remember his buddy's name. It's another channel, and that dude just bought a kayak, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I want one of those. It's like the ultimate fishing kayak, and it's like I gotta have one now, and I can't stop. And they're stupid expensive too.
I think you should start off
get a kayak for $500 for fishing. By the time you find the ones that you want, the base price is $1,500. That's the base for the cheapest, nice fishing kayak.
I really think you should start off with a paddle board.
My wife wants a paddle board really bad.
Just pick up a paddle board.
I would I don't know like where you're launching at, but if I was thinking about getting a boat, I would probably just get like at first just to try it out. I would just look at like a used 14-foot aluminum boat or something, spend $2,000.
See, the whole point of a kayak though is I don't want a trailer. I want to just throw it on a roof. I was saying this in a conversation earlier. They have these removable roof racks because I don't like modifying my personal truck. So they have these removable roof racks made by the company Thole or Thole or something, whatever, THULE. And they clamp on your bed and then you could, anyways, push it up on top of the truck. But then by the time I start looking at these kayaks that I want and I start outfitting them, I'm like, that thing weighs 120 pounds. I'm not gonna be able to get that up on the truck by myself and
throw that around like it's nothing.
This reminds me of a Mitch Hedberg joke what he was talking about. Do you ever wonder why above ground pool commercials are a maximum of 5 seconds long? He said, because that's the total amount of time that you could possibly have fun in an above ground pool.
My wife is begging me for one of those right now.
An above ground pool?
Yeah. And then I started stumbling on these YouTube videos of people burying their above ground pools. They like dig them down and then they like set them up and do decks around them. And it's like, that's not going to, my city wouldn't let me do that. That's
I feel like it's going to because most of them are steel or something, aluminum or whatever. They're going to go bad, right? You're spending so much extra time and effort installing this thing and it's just going to go bad.
But I think when they do go bad, you can just like crumple them up in a ball and pull them out and toss them in the garbage.
But my luck, you'd go by the pool, and I guarantee they do this. The new pool that comes out 5 years later is 22 inches wider, and then now your hole's dug and it won't fit. And
well, see, that's where you just take like one side of it and kind of fold it over, put like a potato chip bag clip on there just to hold that fold.
You know what you do when you have 7/8 knuckles on a condenser and you have 3/4 that you got to put in it. You just kind of, you see all those guys always like pinching down in the line sets and they just fold it. That's what you're doing with your pool.
Yeah, just got to do that. Put a chip bag clip on top there. Hold it together, man.
In all fairness, I've done that before.
Yeah, I mean, we all have.
Who hasn't?
I don't do it too much anymore, and I definitely wouldn't do it and show it on a video. But in all fairness, there's been many a times when I've pinched a line set because I had 7/8 and the new one was 3/4 or 5/8, and it's like, yeah, just pinch it and put some insulation on it. Nobody will know.
Especially early on before I got my hydraulic swedging tool, my Hillmore. And, a big toolbox full of couplers and fittings and everything I really needed. That was my go-to, man. Just a pair of channel locks, just crimp it down.
Many times. Again, but come on, let's be honest. Even though I don't do it, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anything.
So as long as the line set is sized properly, if it can handle a 3/4, if you don't have a bushing or whatever and you're brazing it, I mean, dude, I could fill like a 3/8 hole with braze rods, like what does it matter? I mean, it's not proper, but if you're
Susie,
what she said,
Randy, we're not taking calls right now, bud. You guys see in the chat, Susie.
Oh yeah.
5309 is the phone number.
867-5309.
Call Jenny.
I don't know if Adam had time to even set up the phone line in the 14 minutes before he got.
I think we can do it if you want.
To go back on the whole line set pinching and stuff, like I understand for oil return, but I think that's something people need to understand too, that just because your condensing unit or your compressor has a 7/8 inch suction line doesn't necessarily mean that it has to have a 7/8 inch suction line going to it.
Exactly. Did you ever wonder why on residential systems, a lot of times if you get a 16 series, it'll be 7/8, and then you get the evaporator core, it's 3/4, right?
Well, and then in the early carrier ones, again, I don't do a lot of residential, but in the early carrier ones, to get the 16 sear out of it, you had to go 1.1/8 on the line set.
Oh,
and it would do that.
You had to do that with Train back in the day too.
That was how you got that sear. And so again, it all comes down to following proper piping practices and basically oil return and refrigerant velocity. I had one about a week or so ago that we did, and it was an upflow furnace that was existing with an evaporator. We were changing the evaporator, changing the condenser. The line set was buried in the basement ceiling. Okay, it had 3/4 quarter-inch line set, and it was a 2.5 ton. We were installing a 13 Sierra Mana, and I called their technical, and they said 1/4 inch is not allowed. They said, but you can use 5/16 up to 175 feet. And I said, if you could use 5/16 for 175 feet, I'm sure I can go 1/4 for 25 feet. So I rolled the dice. I did it, and pressures were perfect. So,
but you'd be fine.
Very nice.
Off the record, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, go find out. Your customer can watch the show.
Did I tell you how I fixed the Aeon unit the other day?
Is that the one you showed us with just the 500 miles of wiring in it?
Yes, I'll show you. I have it here because let me just see if I'll put it on the camera.
Here we go.
So I don't know if you can see it.
No, we can't see it. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
So I go to that, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I hate going into these situations. This is a situation that two big mechanical companies came in and pretty much said, you know what? It's going to be like, we have to change everything. We have to change the evaporator core. There's 3 5-ton units, 1 evaporator, 3 takes fees on that 1 evaporator. I don't know if you guys seen, and it's a huge underground. So that's 15 tons of cooling, and that underground is not. It's maybe I'm gonna say a quarter of that. So it's oversized. Anyways, long story short,
you just wiggled the wires. You wiggled the wires and got it going.
No, thank God there was a wire diagram, and I realized on the left side of it, you gotta just picture that whole thing as a logic board. And don't worry about the relays. This is my approach. I don't worry about the relays. I don't worry about the control, the Johnson control. I just try to find that contact that's going to the condensing unit and trying to find out what condensing unit is putting on that condensing unit. So anyways, I isolated each. And what I did is I just put free stats on each one in series, right? And so obviously they're going to cut out, I think, a 30 and cut in a 60. And they never use the 3 banks. And it's working. I manipulated TXVs a little bit, and the unit's working. So they saved $50,000. I got this huge Aeon unit going. I had to change a condenser fan and capacitor, but it was pretty crazy.
Did they buy you lunch?
They didn't buy me lunch, but it was a neat little. I can't believe it worked. I could believe it worked.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, and I only got away with that, I think, because it's way oversized and they were freezing up, and the free stat's just gonna cycle it on and off, and that's about it. It's not really a free stat; it's just a sensor, right? I put on the suction side, and that's it. It's pretty cool. Saved the day though. I think half of it is isolating where the condenser is and looking at that huge board and finding out where
Adam,
it
are
is.
you pooping?
Trying.
You're over there like grunting.
I'm trying to figure out something with my phone. I just put the phone.
Like you're trying to split logs with your bare hands.
You guys don't know that the green screen. Adam's in his bathroom right now. Hey, flush the toilet real quick, bro.
Oh, that's a great idea. I could get a green screen and just sit on the can all night.
Be like, every once in a while, you could flash the green screen away, and you're like, "Oh shit, my bad."
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like one of our best guests ever.
That's amazing. Say, what are you going to say? We want to take some phone calls?
Yeah,
Sure.
Adam, do we have the technological capabilities to do so?
I think so. Maybe.
We're going to put a number up there and it's going to ring to like a random payphone in the middle of Arizona.
Hey, it's not like there's going to be 50 people calling in, guys. So when someone calls in, everybody else stop calling in so we don't have to hear the on hold beep.
Yeah, because I don't think Adam got to that yet, right? Adam, we still have to hear that annoying ring.
Yeah. So once you guys, I know there's like a 20-second delay, but once someone calls, stop trying to recall.
Yeah.
We're still
That
working.
probably just means they're all going to do it just to piss us off. But
Oh, probably.
We're still waiting for Elon Musk to help us figure this technology out.
Yeah.
oh, we did not address it. Did we address this on the last one? Did you guys watch the space launch?
No.
That was last weekend. That's right. It was after the show. I didn't address it on my stream. I was like a little kid watching the space launch with Tesla or SpaceX. That was the coolest thing ever.
Picture perfect, what they say, docking of the space station. That was really all I was seeing. I didn't get to watch it though.
Oh, I was watching the countdown. I was counting down like a little kid. I was watching the thing take off. It took off super fast too. As opposed to the space shuttle. When the space shuttles used to take off, the whatever stupid things would ignite and it would take forever for it to actually lift off. This thing just like shot up really.
Elon Musk's space shuttle is all electric too.
If you look at there's like a handful of people that make real legit rockets that have been like shot up into outer space, like like random people, right? Mm-hmm. And you look at the videos on them, they're so fast, how fast they launch. But then you look at NASA and you look at SpaceX, it seems like they're like a quarter of the speed.
Yeah, it's so slow.
Yeah,
it's also, I used to do a lot of work in the airport and I would watch these planes come in and they're like going so slow. You're like, how does that just not fall out of the sky?
I'm for Ontario International Airport, which is one of our small regional airport. Well, it's not regional, it's an international, but it's a small airport. I'm in the flight pattern. So the airplanes are coming down, right over my house all the time. So you can just watch them. And basically all I ever see is Amazon Prime planes. Amazon Prime.
Oh, wow.
That's all I ever see. But yeah, that launch, I was like a little kid. I was so excited. I had my wife in there. I had my daughter in there, my youngest daughter. They were all just sitting there watching with me. And I just sat there and watched it. And then the next morning, I woke up super early so I could see a dock with the space station.
You're big into the whole docking thing, aren't you?
I am into the docking thing. I'm going to ruin everybody's evening. So what I want you to do, put your browser on safe search, right? Or anonymous search or incognito mode. Okay. And I want you to search up docking and just be impressed with what I just ruined your night with. Okay. So
Docking?
yeah, just go ahead and
Do it, Joe. Do it, Joe.
I thought
if
that's
you're not over 18, do not do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured.
do it.
Okay.
Do
No,
not do that if you're not over 18.
Or just imagine two trains in a head-on collision.
I just missed a
basically
call.
What you're going to see, except
wasn't
the
paying-
trains are like packages of beef and sausage.
I got
Running
Susie saying don't do
right
it.
into
Somebody
Okay.
needs to call back. I just missed a call because I wasn't paying attention because I was listening to Bill talk about beef steaks.
It's like if I had a shotgun that shot out hot dogs and Chris had a shotgun that shot out sausages and we shot right at each other in such a fashion that they would just hit each other end on
Okay.
end and
Yep.
bounce off of it.
Hello?
That's sort of what's going on.
Okay.
Who might we have on the phone right now?
Hey guys, this is
Hey.
Randy.
Oh,
Hey, Randy.
What's up?
Uh-oh. Sounds like you are at a
Hey
party.
Bill.
Is that Luke?
Yeah, Luke's here.
Cool.
Yeah, right on.
sweet. How's that thermostat going?
That doesn't sound like Luke.
Good, good. Hey, I got a question about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We live in a mobile home, okay? And a lot of times we keep our air on 76, but for some reason that dang thing's not kicking it on to the 77 on the thermostat room temperature display. If it's
Huh.
mild out, say 65 degrees, I don't have that problem with it.
I wonder if there's a back page setting that you can get into on that. You know what I mean?
Like a differential control.
Yeah, exactly.
I just had a sort of a discussion about this with one of my guys about a differential control that we had at a secret customer's location.
Cause I read the book on it, Adam.
Did you read the?
It said something about integral and proportional control. I decreased that setting from 2 minutes, which was the default, to 1 minute. It cured the problem in heating mode, but AC mode, it didn't cure it.
I don't even know what that proportional control is.
I wonder what your cycle rate is set at.
Oh yeah, good
Well-
call.
The what he's asking about is the cycle rate and the differential something or other.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Honestly, I haven't installed an April Air thermostat in like 10 years. To be
Yeah, I
completely
know.
honest with
You know, I would say to go buy a Honeywell, but I just heard that there's like a massive class action lawsuit against Honeywell,
On their-
or not Honeywell. I guess it's the new company that owns their thermostats. I can't think of the name right now, because you know that Honeywell doesn't actually make their own. They don't own their thermostat line anymore.
No,
way.
They sold it to another company.
I would actually recommend. I don't know. I kind of feel bad because it's sort of a cheaper model that I always get them at Lowe's for my. It's sort of like a backup thermostat, just a touch screen. It's like a $40 thermostat, but man, it's just been such a solid thermostat for me. I couldn't even tell you the model number of it, but it's touch screen.
I would recommend not going with a Nest.
Oh yeah, definitely not a Nest.
I
Ecobee.
don't think I want a Nest. That's for sure.
No, because people will start watching you, Randy, and then they'll like hack into your house and play loud music on your thermostat somehow.
You know, Susie says the Honeywell 9000. That's actually what I have in my house. And it does all right. It's not the prettiest. I mean, it's kind of cool looking, but I'm interested in those Sensi ones. The Sensi thermostat with the monitoring system and stuff. I'd kind of like to pick one of those up to put it in my house just to be able to monitor, because I like data. I love looking at data.
See, and I think when you have too many different settings and options for something,
Yeah.
that should be more simplified than what it is, especially in your application, because you probably have a modular home with thinner walls, the insulation is probably not the best, and all these other variables that go into, trying to maintain the temperature inside that envelope of your building there. You sort of have like almost
that's what it is, though.
almost like an over advanced.
I would look and see what your cycle rates are set at.
I would just take the red and the white wire and just peel them off and just hold them, and then we want cooling, just touch them together.
In cooling mode, for some reason, I have a bedroom right next to the thermostat, and a lot of times we keep that door shut, and the cycling's totally different with that door shut than it was than it is open.
Your main return is pretty close to that thermostat as well, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it's actually in the living room because we have the package unit for cooling. So that returns in the living room, and in heating mode, the issue doesn't happen because the returns in the laundry room for it.
Interesting. Hey, Randy, how long you been an HVAC tech? You sound like a tech if you're not a tech.
I've been watching a lot of videos the last couple of years. I'm really truly into it.
So you're YouTube certified.
Yeah.
You got a voltmeter yet?
I even got my own YouTube channel, Bill.
Really?
You know what? We blow, or I should say, you guys blow people's YouTube channels up.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
You should tell everyone what it is.
You should do
What
it.
is your YouTube channel? Like April Air 97.
Yeah, yeah, my YouTube channel is actually my first and last name. The one that's in the chat, that's my YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
You should post up one of your videos on Overtime.
Yes.
Yeah, I will do that. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would do it. Because this way, because if not, if I don't write it down or see it somewhere, I'm gonna forget that you have one. And then next week when you tell me the same story, I'm like, oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I got a memory like that. How old are you, Randy?
I'm actually 29.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, you sound about 29. 25 to 29 was my guess.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Very
every
cool.
time you guys say hi to Luke, he listens to the TV.
Does he
That's
wag his
awesome.
tail?
He's actually
Yeah.
out here on my porch with me right now.
Nice.
Very good.
Teach him some tricks for us. All right, Randy.
Thanks
we'll
for
talk to you.
calling.
Yeah.
Hey, don't
thanks
forget
for
to post
the
that video up on Overtime, all right, bud?
And we're gonna send you a shirt. Randy?
Yeah.
What size shirt do you wear?
Large.
All right. Very good.
Sun's out, guns out, bro.
You guys got my address, right? I think I sent it to the email.
Oh yeah, we got it.
Yep. I wrote it on
Alright.
every bathroom stall I could find within a 100-mile radius.
He's joking, Randy.
No,
All right.
I'm not.
Thanks, Randy, for calling, buddy.
Well, thanks for calling
Talk to you
in.
soon.
Have a good night, Randy.
See you, bud.
Joe, did I cure the not ringing problem?
You did.
Keep
cool.
talking, Joe. You got a lot to say about me all the time. You know, a lot of criticism coming from you, from the guy that's sitting over there every 3 seconds going, banging his microphone.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm getting my frustration out because. Sorry, Chris. I had a few clips I wanted him to show, but it's not his fault. Rough
Talk and
days.
make this horrible so that nobody can hear anything.
Okay, go ahead. There was just clips I wanted to show. There was this pretty cool epic fix I did. And
There's
I wanted
always
to show
next
it.
week.
We'll do it next
There's
week.
always next week. I'll try. Dude, listen. Let me tell you something. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah.
I was going to say, in Adam's defense, whenever Joe takes a picture, it's the most vertical picture you could ever see. Like a skyscraper, all of them.
You know what?
And I
there's
gave
like a
him plenty of
20-minute
warning. I
process. You
said,
gotta press it. You gotta flip it. I mean, it's like.
I said, Joe, this is the last week I'm spending a bunch of time on your pictures, your vertical pictures. So keep in mind, anything you take has to be horizontal. So next week he's like, come on, man. Can't you just do one more?
And to be honest, there's a cooling tower fix I did.
Right there.
Oh.
Like this. Like this.
Do I need to share the vertical video syndrome YouTube video? There's like the whole YouTube like meme thing, and it's called the vertical video syndrome, and it's a silly cartoon video.
Oh, no way.
I'm gonna have to share it with you.
Well, you know what? You're gonna kill me, Adam, because this little cooling tower fix I did, it's vertical.
I'm sure it is, Joe. I would not have it any other way.
Sorry. You know what? Don't blame me though. It was raining. It was miserable. I was happy I fixed it.
So
It was just the sump pump.
my phone died like an hour before we finished the job today, and I was with a guy, Bob, who was working with me, and he was taking a picture of it. I'm like, hey, I need a picture of that, but can you do me a favor and take a picture horizontal like an American, please? And he's like this, and mid sentence, he's like,
You know, Big Five just pointed out a really good point. Next week, we're not going to have any time for phone calls because
You're right.
dominating the show.
Well, no, actually, what we should do, we should have a super duper special show where we maybe, what do you guys think? Maybe 2 hours?
Almost, we could almost take it 2 hours. We should get everybody who has electrical questions or
yeah.
anything in that nature to email us.
Honestly, we barely touched anything. We went, you know, like there was so much more we could have talked about. I think that's the whole point of trying to have him come back. Go ahead, sir.
Do we get pee-pee breaks? Because
yes, pee-pee breaks
are
are
2 hours without a pee-pee break.
No, you get a funnel and you get an empty
Oh,
gallon.
portable penis?
Yes.
But don't forget to save your urine because it's good for gardens.
No.
Joe, what was the longest hangout we ever did on YouTube? It was like 7 hours and 59 minutes.
That one that you guys were on for like 8. I think I woke up at like 7 in the morning. You guys were still on. Or something.
I think I fell asleep a few times and then woke back up and started talking again.
Yeah. Just talking nonsense.
It was fun.
But next week it's going to be epic. So first hour.
Not our show. This was in the past when we were just hanging out for 8 hours, 9 hours. Anyways, go on.
So next week it is going to be epic. So the first hour of the show is just going to be us trying to keep up with Clive, Mr. Big Clive, and just riffing on electrical stuff. And then maybe halfway through, start taking some phone calls. Let some of the viewers call in, talk to Clive, ask him some questions, see if they can stump him.
I just watched one of Clive's videos this week where it was a shower faucet that went bad. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I know he said, he's like, all the Americans are going to freak out about this because it's 220 volts or whatever going to it. I was thinking as soon as he said the voltage going to it, I'm like, damn, that's dangerous.
just shooting electricity right at you. That's awesome.
I haven't watched the video yet. A 220. I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Yeah, I'm so busy.
Nuts, man.
I started to watch his I don't think I watched the whole video, but I watched his teaser video, or maybe it was in a live stream where he was showing the USB washing machine, and I was just kind of, and I think that's the one maybe that got you intrigued or something, Bill. But I was,
I went through and watched that. I watched it all the way through, and the best part I'll say was when Clive got to wash his big brown moist panties on there. It was awesome. And then the water after he was washing his big brown moist panties, the water wasn't clean no more.
Well, he said he did say in that video that he took those are clean underwear. Those were clean underwear to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
It was all orange color.
I tell myself every morning.
Yeah.
It looked like Nathan Orr's bathwater.
That's what I tried to say, but you just stole my thunder.
Sorry.
Dude, come on.
It's the Thunderdome, bro.
The Thunderdome, Mad Max, the Thunderdome.
Side note, just want to cut you guys off for a second, change the topic, but those ICP brands I installed last weekend, very quiet, dude. Very quiet. I recommend them. They're very quiet. For a no name. Just wanted to share that.
The more you know.
Just want to share that.
That's a great. So Scott Snoder had an interesting, and again, I'm changing topic right now, but Scott, that's a really good point. He said he never thought he would have to give his wife instructions on how to protect herself in case rioters tried to kill her.
Yeah.
I wonder what those instructions are.
Well, I'm going to say I gave very similar instructions to my employees. So the Monday after the first weekend of rioting that we had out here, we brought all the guys in, and I just told them, I said, look, if you guys don't feel comfortable, you need to say something. If you don't want to go to work, I'm fine with that. And I said, I don't care about your van. I said, don't try to protect your van. I said, if you get into a situation where you need to leave your van, just leave it and go. I said, all I care about is your guys' safety. I said, it's not worth a stupid van, like over this craziness. Like, granted, we don't work in really bad areas, but I also for that Monday and Tuesday when the rioting started last week, I told everybody we're not doing any after hours calls. We're not working past 4 p.m. I don't care what's broken. They can go pound sand. Like, we weren't doing it just because it was just too crazy.
Is this the YouTube version of the conversation, or is this actually how it went down?
No, it's how it went down. I told them. I sat him in the office. I don't think they knew that I don't think they took me seriously when I said I don't give a crap what happens.
Did you slap your knee and say, "Come here, guys, sit down. Let's have a conversation."
Let's have a conversation. No, we were all standing in the garage. So I'm going to give people a visual. So
real quick, are you allow you guys to carry
on me? So
yeah, Jessica was asking. Sorry.
Yeah, Susie was asking. Are you guys allowed to carry, Chris?
No. Well, you can have a concealed carry in California. Yes, it's actually easier than people think, but no, none of my guys carry. So
okay.
It's actually in our employee handbook that they don't carry. So And that's the whole thing.
I'll try not to interrupt you no more.
No, it's I already lost my train of thought. I didn't. So,
It's a thing.
After that. Sorry.
it's all good.
Feels awkward now.
Yeah, it kind of is. You're kind of a dick.
I'm sorry, man.
It is what it is. I totally wanted to say something and I forgot it. So guess what? The whole stream lost out on what I wanted to say that was cool. Whatever.
Internet beef times 100.
Yeah, you're dead to me.
I still got a restraining order against me.
Adam, you don't have any pictures, right, to share? Viewer pictures, anything?
Damn it, Joe and his pictures.
Joe, I got on here the same time you got on here.
I know. Okay. All right.
Did you upload them with your mind while we were all talking?
All right. Well,
I'm
we killed
behind
the
on
hour,
everything.
anyways.
Listen, so the past couple weeks I've been doing ductwork jobs. I've been doing, I think 3 weeks straight I had 2 days off. And with my 2 days off, I don't want to do anything.
duck jobs, dude. You should have sent them. You should have showed them. They're awesome.
It's gonna be a presentation at some point in my life.
I have never done oval duct, so that's pretty cool. So
Thanks, Joe.
yeah, it's awesome. I think it looked cool.
I'm sorry. I just saw Jessica's comment. She wants Clive and Bill to take turns reading Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, yeah, that was awesome.
I'm down if Clive's down. I don't even know what is like Harry Potter talk about. I don't even know. I try to ad lib some lines, but I don't even.
Talks about
Hi, I'm Harry Potter. Welcome to my castle. Here's a wand. I fly on a broomstick. That's all I know about Harry Potter.
You should watch it with your daughter, dude. Those are fun movies. I actually just watched them recently. Yeah.
Oh.
They're pretty intense though. You can't you can't be in the room and not be focused on the movie. You have to pay attention or else 10 minutes later you're gonna be like, what the fuck? This is stupid. Like you have to watch it the whole time.
Probably better than that movie Hostel I watched with her yesterday.
What the fuck?
Hostile.
Hostile?
Yeah.
hostile. Not
Watch it,
hostile,
Joe.
Joe.
Watch a guy get his tendon on his foot cut open and
Yeah, I think I've seen that. That's
yeah.
fucked up.
Which one is that? When he climbs?
She still screams in her sleep. What are you gonna do?
Again, since you guys brought up movies, or maybe I did, I don't know. I started watching the again for the millionth time. I started watching the Alien franchise again. Super good movies, man. I watched Event Horizon? No, whatever. You guys won't even remember, but yeah, the Alien franchise. Go check them out. Those are great movies.
I don't know how you can watch things over again.
When they're a good movie, man. I just watched Back to the Future 2 weeks ago, like all of them in order.
So did I.
Epic. It's like being a little kid again.
Yeah, Back to the Future, man. That's a solid trilogy right there, man.
1.21 gigawatts,
Like the only thing that I couldn't watch. The only thing that I couldn't watch again now is like some of the cartoons I used to watch when I was younger, like back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Like Tailspin, X-Men, Gargoyles.
What about how racist the original like Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes and do you remember like the
It's cool.
they would have a mammy come out and like beat Foghorn Leghorn or something. I don't know. They used to have horrible racist stuff.
Super racist. Yeah.
Super racist stuff coming. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Way to bring it back home, Chris.
Hold on a second.
What?
We're holding.
Pizza Hut, how can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to put an order in for a pizza and a technician to come do my job for me, please.
Bill?
Is this Rick?
What's
Do you
that?
want
Yes.
Do you want an extra large meat lovers with that pizza?
Yeah, thin crust, extra large, meat lovers, and somebody that knows what they're doing so they can come run the calls for me.
You got lots of meat here, bud.
Nobody here.
Pizza delivery guy right now. I got the shirt to prove it.
We got a.
Well, Rick.
Yeah, I just got done working in the Italian restaurant there. It was great. The wife said I had to call in and order a pizza, so that's what I'm doing.
Nice. You know what, Rick? Before you go on, I just want to say one thing. Just reminding me, we were talking about looting. There was a thing. I don't know if you guys seen it. There were some looters. They tried to loot an Italian bakery, I think, in New York, and the owners or whoever came out with machine guns.
Really?
I was literally working at an Italian place that he made the joke the last time I was on call that when we got into the freezer that he goes, this is where I keep the dead bodies. And I said, I don't care as long as we can get this done. So
What were you working on anyways, Rick?
Oh my gosh! It was a walk-in freezer. He goes and says, "Well, one fan's working out of 3." He goes, "I think I need new fans." So I get there, and 2 of the fans are basically stopped by almost 3.5, 4 inches of ice in the bottom of the pan. The coils completely froze over. Ice and stuff dripping down off the freezer or off the evaporator. The floor's got it all over it. It's just a total disaster. And I was there 2 weeks ago for it was low on refrigerant and had some other issues. So things just keep getting worse. It's a super hot kitchen, so the humidity just pours in there. The doors don't shut right. No one shuts the doors half the time, so it just compounded and it's a disaster. So,
jeez,
just finished. Yeah,
that sounds like a super fun night, Rick.
It was. It was terrific. What's that? Yeah.
You on call this weekend?
Yeah. Yep, I was on all week, and then now I'm getting it this weekend too, and then hopefully I'll be done for 5 or 6 weeks at least. So,
are you going live tomorrow night?
I don't know yet. It depends on whether or not I get calls or not. I don't really have anybody to talk to, so if you guys want to come on, we could.
Yeah, well, we don't mind.
So
I was just going to ask you guys, what do you guys deal with them more when it comes to those situations that the ambient temperature in the restaurant alone and humidity is so hot? How do you guys fix that? Like, is it fixable? And what do you guys suggest to the owners?
I mean, obviously you'd want more air conditioning, but if they don't have the money or don't want to spend the money, you can try the curtains. But half the time, the people cut the curtains off. So I mean, you can try air curtains; those are even more money. That half time they'll get used. But I mean,
yeah,
there's no good way to do it. You just got to go out and thaw it out every so often. I mean, you could try more defrost, but I'm not a big fan of more than 4, at least around my area.
Yeah, 6 hour long defrosted day, Rick. That's what you need.
It's
every other hour.
Some restaurants, you just can't reason with them either. I worked at a Chinese restaurant, and they had like no fresh air makeup, and the negative pressure was so intense in the building that like the screen doors in the back was like a filter. And like seriously, it was plug solid. It was like incredible. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And his water heater was backdrafting. So I'm like, yeah, you need to have fresh air makeup installed. No. He had some other guy come out, and what he did was he put one of those Journaland or whatever induced fans on the water heater, so it kept running. He's like, we're just gonna keep powering through this thing, you know?
Oh my God.
Wow.
All right.
I've come across that so much with the negative air pressure problems, and I found the one too where the customer called me because they said they had carbon monoxide. Of all things, a customer said they had carbon monoxide, and I went out there and it was a negative air pressure problem, and it was basically pulling the flue gases out, and it was just pulling it out in the whole building. Yeah, I have a carbon monoxide detector, and I'm walking up to it, and the thing's just pegging. And it's just like, oh snap!
Jeez.
Metal Band-Aids.
Yep.
What can you do?
Just
Not a whole lot.
hand on the bill. That's all you can do.
Notation.
That's crazy. That's dangerous, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, it's getting about that time. What do you say
I'm gonna order some food then.
All right.
I'm glad you called, Rick.
All right.
Thanks for calling in, Rick.
I'm gonna get some Taco Bell here since you don't have no pizza for me. So.
Nope.
Oh man, you better get home and change your pants, Rick.
Wait,
Oh no.
is he saying that because you're shirt, Chris, or is it because he just?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody's
I
got.
don't even know what to
I
say.
haven't heard anybody that said it.
I don't think anybody in the chat or watching the thing understands what my shirt represents.
There's a snake in my
10
boot.
fire. Exactly 10, please.
He's actually ordering taco.
He's fucking ordering tacos. Tell him you want a pintos and beans too, and
You tell me exactly what you want, and then they'll give you 2. Then it's like, wait a minute, where's my other 8 at? I like a lot of sauce. I like it.
you want a nacho bel grande, you want a pintos and beans, and then you want a cinnamon twist.
Exactly.
You wanna
No, I just got
sauce.
two little freaking burritos, man. That's about as good as it gets today.
No.
It's,
All right, bud. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Toodles.
Yep, catch you guys later. Have a good night.
Toodles.
Toodles,
Later, John.
noodles, and tacos.
Do.
Off to work, John.
All right, guys. Well,
Wow.
what do you say we wrap it up and get out of here for the night?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Sure.
I think
For a
people
rush
had enough
night, It
overtime.
wasn't too bad. It was a rush night, but it wasn't too bad.
That was
you
exciting
mean?
that Randy called in. We finally got to talk to him for the first time.
Yeah, the Biggest
pulled
fan.
it
Right?
off. We pulled it off.
Okay.
Hold it up.
Yeah, and then Joe asked us about pictures all night long, but
And kept
Yeah.
banging his microphone for some strange reason.
Why do you guys say something? I was banging my microphone.
this is hilarious when you don't
Just
notice.
like try not to touch it. That's all you gotta do. It's not very hard. Just don't like.
Hey, did we tell Joe that we went live before he got back?
Jessica Egan finally got
Yeah,
it.
she got it.
Is a Pizza Planet shirt.
There we go.
Now you got to name the movie, Jessica.
There's a snake in my boot.
You
There's
know?
always a movie. There's always a movie.
When you're dealing with Chris, there's always a movie.
I think every time you come on, Chris, you should have like a little thing hidden in the background
Okay.
from a movie or something.
Yeah, that's
You
my
ever
thing.
notice like Seinfeld used to do that with Superman, like props?
I did not know that about Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Me either.
he's a big Superman fan, and all of his like there's Superman references all over the place in there.
No,
But anyway,
No,
that's for
that's
another.
good.
That's for another show.
that's for another show.
Toy Story
All right, guys.
movie.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks for showing up, showing us some support. We appreciate that. Before you guys get out of here, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for us. All right.
Come back next week for the super special show.
Super duper special. We'll have Mr. Big Clive on here if all goes well, and a buttload of questions, and hopefully at least 2 hours of fun time with him,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
with intermissions granted for those who need them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a very agitated bladder sometimes.
I just got a hole cut in the bottom of my
Poor-
seat.
Poor Chris. He has this amazing teriyaki place he loves, and he's waiting for him for dinner because he's like, what, 3 hours behind us? Poor guy. And I appreciate that for hanging in there, Chris.
It's all good. Thai food, but, you know, it's all good.
Thai food.
Same difference.
Pretty
Same
close.
difference.
Pretty close,
Same.
Joe. Just bang your microphone
All right.
once for us, Joe. All right, thank you. All right. See ya.
What?
Hats.
One day.
I think I should start the show just by farting really loud. Let me know when it's going to start.
Do it.
Got like 3 more seconds.
Do it.
I got time to do it.
You got one on deck?
Nope.
Can you bend over and hold up a
When I
lighter?
laugh, it hurts, Bill. Fucking killing me, man.
I know better than that.
Oh, that's right. I already forgot that you fell down and hurt your back like an old person.
Yeah, dude.
That's why old people carry Werther's Originals around in one pocket, so they kind of even their hips out.
I like caramel.
Wait a
Caramels are
minute.
good.
Right.
Yeah, they gotta wait their hips out, or they're going to fall down, or worse yet, they'll just walk in a circle.
So
My kids think I'm so old because my
Popcorn.
favorite ice cream is butter pecan. Like I'm an
Yeah.
old person when it comes to that.
I'd have to agree with that.
So, Joe, did you take off of work because your back hurt today or for America?
I did it for America.
That's great.
There you go,
Good
Joe.
answer.
You're the
Good
man,
answer.
dude.
Yeah.
Such a patriot.
Right?
It's beautiful.
Anyways.
It is beautiful. Yeah, we were all off today. So I had one guy that actually wanted to take my call, so he took the call today. I don't think he got anything. I didn't hear anything come through.
That's amazing. I can't imagine if anybody ever. I just can't imagine it. Just a phone call, like, hey, I want to take your on call.
Well, he prefaced that with saying, I want to take just Friday during the day, normal business hours. He says, I don't want your weekend. But I was just like,
No.
whatever, you can have anything you want. Well, because technically, if you think about it, he would have got paid double time because they get paid 8 hours for today. And then if he would have worked, he would have got however much time at straight time too. So he would have got double.
So I've always thought too, like, is it really double time or should it be double time and a half? Should he be getting paid time and a half for working on a holiday?
Well, if it was a true
Holiday, then it would
yes.
be okay.
Yeah. So if I have to go out to work tomorrow, normally it would be time and a half, but tomorrow is double time to the customer. So now if 4th of July fell on a Friday, then yes, he would have gotten paid 8 hours for the day and he would have gotten double time. So technically he would have gotten triple time.
Jeez.
Triple time, man.
Triple overtime.
I've never even heard of that before.
Yep. We have all kinds of crazy laws
right now.
Things are different here in California too, because I know some states do this, some states don't, but like we have all kinds of wage laws. So if you work over 8 hours, you get overtime. If you work
I
over
was just going to ask you that.
12 hours, you get double time. If you work, and then there's the next step past that too.
So that's per day though, like in Michigan.
No. Hourly.
Yeah.
We're hourly here.
So after 8 hours on a Monday, you get
Time and a half.
overtime.
Time and a half.
Interesting.
After
Yeah,
12 hours, you get double time.
They just
not in
passed.
Michigan.
They just passed in Chicago. They just like really made it much more strict for labor laws. So I think if I was listening to this more, like I turn on, I just put one of those Google Home Minis by my bed. So right when I wake up, I'm like, good morning, Google, or whatever. And it starts telling you the news for the day. And I remember, I think the minimum wage went up. And then also, if you work to a certain period of time and then you're scheduled to work the next day in less than a 10-hour time frame, you don't have to show up at that time. Like there has to be a
something
certain
like that, but we also have like a weird wage law where if you're scheduled and you show up and they tell you they don't need you, then they have to pay you for like 3 hours or something like that too. That doesn't apply to us, but like for waitresses and stuff. So if you're scheduled to be on the clock and you show up and then they say, oh, you know what, we're slow, we don't need you, which happens a lot, they still have to pay you. They have to pay you for 3 hours just for showing up. And then technically being on call is a little bit different, but if we made it a complete requirement to answer your phone, to dispatch within 2 hours, like if that was in our job description, then you have to pay the guys straight time just to have the phone on their side. So we don't do that though. So basically we just have an agreement between everybody that you're on call, but that would be too expensive.
Kangaroo got saying 55 hours in New York State is double time.
It's funny because the more hours you work in a week, the less valuable you are because the more tired and shitty you are in the head physically and everything, right?
Yeah, the state of California, though, I mean, I don't want to harp on it too much, but they make it damn near impossible to run a business here. It is just like, and it's not like we're trying to be slave workers or anything, but I mean, they literally make it so difficult to run a business because it's just
All
like
their
this
laws and whatnot.
Oh my gosh. Like in the very beginning of the whole virus thing, we got a notice from before they even figured out how they're going to pay us or compensate us or anything for the virus. They sent us these posters that we had to post on our walls. This was like 2 days after they declared a national emergency. These posters that we're supposed to post on our walls so the employees can see them that says all their rights and like what they're entitled to, 7-hour sick pay, just on top of the normal sick. Like it was just like, what? You guys haven't even figured, like, this is stupid. They're it's ridiculous.
I would have crumpled it up and thrown it in the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, no comment.
I just literally had one of my guys was talking to me about this because for whatever reason, he's lived in Michigan his whole life, but he was under the assumption that after 8 hours, like on a Monday, even you get paid overtime. And I'm like, no,
Well, I think unions do.
That's
I think
California right there, buddy. Thanks to California and unions.
Yeah, no, definitely not. You don't get overtime in Michigan until you hit 40 hours. Yeah. And like this week, since there's a holiday, you get paid that holiday pay. But like, for example, if I worked 40 hours already, that 8-hour holiday pay is still straight time. So I get 48 hours of just straight time pay.
Yep.
I don't get overtime until I hit hour number 49.
Right.
You know, ironically, and I'm not bashing unions at all because I'm cool with them, whatever. But ironically, the unions, the labor laws don't apply to the unions here in California. The unions have their own bargaining agreements. So the unions basically set their own rules, but the rules are set by the union members anyway. So I mean, it's always going to be in their benefit. But
it's funny because I think a lot of the basis of labor laws have been set by unions.
Yeah, and I you know, to defend unions too. Like I understand and I agree, especially in the past, there was a time and place. If you watch any of the history documentaries there was one called The Men Who Built America on the History Channel. That was a great show. If you guys get an opportunity, check it out. But it was interesting to see how these giant power players,
Jimmy Hoffa.
No, not Jimmy. No. This is way before then.
There's Carnegie and
Marconi,
Rockefeller.
All these guys, basically Rockefeller, they basically ruined the United States. They put us into a depression because they were just fucking with each other. Like they were just proving a point, you know. They created all this chaos, and that's the main reason why the people unionized. And they were killing people. They were going out and sending militias out to kill the union organizers.
And then the unions got smart and buddied up with the mafia. And
that was later in the 50s for sure. Yeah.
So here's something along the lines. Here's a movie that I wouldn't ask you if you know what it is, Chris, because you're good with movies. Eddie Murphy movie back from the 80s. Is it Trading Places?
Yeah, I remember Trading Places.
Was that where he's like a bum on the street and he pretends like he doesn't?
And those two rich guys bet $1.
They bet $1.
Yeah.
Yep.
By a really, really old, rich white man bets him, right? If I remember right. And
it was two old, rich white men. One was like, they bet $1 against each other. One said, I could make anyone rich and like change their personality. Where I don't remember exactly, but
yeah, something like that.
It's funny.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Trading Places. Yeah.
Rich people and their bets.
Yeah. Yep. Jessica says Dan Aykroyd is in there.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Dan Aykroyd is one of the rich guys. Yep. And then I think the other rich guy was like an older white guy, a little bit older than Dan Aykroyd.
Was it one of the Sheens?
No,
not Martin Sheen, but what's the dad's name? The older Sheen. I don't know. It was one of those guys though.
Bob.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was back when Eddie Murphy was awesome.
Eddie Murphy. You got to give it to that guy too. You know, that was the time in the 80s. That's when, not how do I say this carefully? Not diminishing any of the complaints now, but I mean, it had to be hard to be a black guy in the 80s and be as powerful as Eddie Murphy to come up in that. That had to be hard.
Have you watched? Yeah, he was killer. Like his.
But that just had to be so difficult for him because I mean, that was insane.
A lot of walls to break down.
Yeah, there was a lot of walls to break down, and good for him for doing that.
And then he just kind of gave up after we hit the late 90s in the year 2 when like it's like nutty professor and this and that, and it's
he was just collecting that Shrek money, man.
Yeah, I mean, and Shrek was when he was just chilling. That was after a hiatus. You know, and then
like 4 or 5 of those things.
Yeah, and that's some fuck you money right there, the Shrek stuff, because
movies.
Yeah,
that will last forever. Yeah, I don't
know. Have you guys seen that movie, Hobbit and Shaw?
Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah, the Fast and Furious. They were
what
trying to
Hobbit and Shaw. Yeah, Hobbit and Shaw. No, Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking of J.R.R. Tolkien's book, The Hobbit, recently.
The Hobbit. Yeah,
I was going to try to read it in Spanish, but anyway,
this whole time.
So you know, Dwayne Johnson's in that movie, The Rock, our soon-to-be president, eventually. King, The Rock, and he says this word in there all the time, some bitch. And the way he says it is so impressing to me that I want to find a way to incorporate it more into my life. Like, just I haven't figured out how yet, but just I don't know. I just want to use it more. Like, some bitch.
I'm gonna out myself right now. So between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Vin Diesel, those are my two in another life cheats right there.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Vin Diesel.
So you're saying if you ever transition to a woman,
in another life, if I was gay, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Vin Diesel? Probably Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. I don't know. Vin Diesel's.
I just lost half my audience right now.
This is a weird conversation.
Yeah,
I have a good way of turning conversations into weird shit.
I want to make this full because I want to show these guys these hats.
Yeah, Joe's been like sitting there playing solitaire the whole time we've been talking about movies.
About movies, yeah. Show these great hats.
Killing this show talking about which guys we want to bang. Now you want to bust out your hat story.
I'm trying to change subject, but there is going to be some that we're going to be giving away. I'll be sending them out to Adam, but yeah,
don't send them to me.
Yes, they are. But I did one mistake, and Chris reminded me about it too. I had it in my head, and then Chris reminded me, he's like, "Yeah, make sure."
I just found it.
You spelled overtime wrong.
No, I just found it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to out him unless he wants to out himself.
I will. Good man, Chris.
What'd you do?
What'd you do? Are they all like this? I didn't even know. I think they're all like this, just not black. This should be black.
Yeah,
you ruined the underside.
Yeah, because when we're at work, like Chris mentioned too,
it's gonna get dirty as crap, man.
Yeah, I can't believe I missed that. Ugh.
See,
they're awesome.
That's all right. Just get another round of them, Joe.
Yeah, this is the limited edition ones. So these ones are $20 more a hat because they're special.
Yeah, Joe, you could just autograph the underbill before you send those out to people.
True.
Seriously, while we're complaining and I'm taking over the show, I have been going through this website stuff, and oh my gosh, I'm glad I paid someone to do it. It's just what a pain, man. I could not do this by myself. There's no way, because like this is legit set up and stores and everything, and like we literally just finished it today, and what a mess.
The funny thing is you paid the guy a decent amount of money, and he it might be very hard, but to somebody that's like trained and very good at something like this dude is probably sitting on his couch drinking a beer, and like every 3 hours he just like types in one line like, all right,
he earned it. Like, and I even have to say too, the amount that he quoted me, he ended up not charging me that because I was just, because I thought he was doing extra for me because I kept emailing him, hey, do this, hey, do that, and he was like, all right, and I figured he's just going to add some more to it, and I was going to be cool with it. No, he took $350 off the price because he's like, yeah, I never redid your logo. We kept the same logo, and I'm like, fuck, good for him.
See, now this exact story is why some things around my house I will farm out to other companies.
Oh yeah. I mean, my wife today, she was like, yeah, we need to repaint the entire house. We have like our ceilings painted and shit, and it's not a giant house. It's 1,700 square feet.
Oh,
but
that shit sucks.
And
man.
I go, oh no, we're not. If I said I'm not painting it anyways, but if I was to get it painted, I ain't doing this.
Absolutely not. No way.
Hell no.
No, I just had my brother-in-law come over. He painted my fence for me, painted the foundation of my house, painted my porch, man. Like I could do it, but I got other shit I also want to do.
And if you're not good at painting, you're really slow, meaning you have to make a big mess and then clean up the mess just to bring it back out and make the mess again, because you're not going to get done with it.
And then you leave streaks in it because you don't really know what you're doing. You're just like, yeah, I'm a man, I can do it.
Right.
I'm not going to pay another man to do it.
Yeah.
Rick was saying he would buy one. Hey, what's up, Survival? I think these ones, guys, we all decided that we'll probably give them away, and they're nice hats from Lids, but we'll probably be giving them away. So just hold on.
Rick, Chronic Flute, forgive me, I forget your wife's name, Rick, but yeah, he actually was typing code. I mean, I'm sure he had some stuff to help him with it, but he was typing code for a lot of it. Cause like when I would change things, he was having to do all kinds of things. So it was definitely beyond me. It was not a website builder that he used.
I feel it's okay to call in other people who do certain things for a living to do them for you.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know, guys. Adam, maybe while I'm opening this, you could say, because you say it so well, Steve Lab's sponsor. They're awesome. I have to admit, I gotta give them kudos to them because
value testers.
Sorry,
value testers.
Yeah, exactly. Because
That's right, Rick. Sorry.
I did order something and I wanted it for this weekend because I will be doing a change and I want to video it and I wanted this new.
Well, what did you buy? Open the freaking box, man.
And you convinced me to get it.
He got it. Hvac Professional Plus. Boom. Showed up already.
I spent so much money on this though, dude. I feel so bad. But whatever.
Are we not naming this
like before the show? Like prepared the box to be opened immediately.
I honestly, I swear to God, I just got her right before our show. DHL just delivered at my house. I was so happy.
I don't believe nothing Joe says now.
My word.
You're gonna like it.
It is awesome.
Oh, you got it, Chris? I can't remember. I didn't know you had it.
Yes, I have one.
Do you want to know the only down? Well, you probably have a new version. Hopefully.
Don't tell me downside. I spent
old version.
over.
Well,
No, it's worth it.
What I would say to do is immediately before you try to take it out and use it, try connecting it, download the app and try connecting it to your phone. If it doesn't connect to your phone, you're going to have to send it back and have them reprogram it.
Oh my God. I hope so. Jeez.
And you know Joe's fancy phone that he has. What else do you have connected to your phone, Joe?
Pornhub? I don't know.
What?
I'm joking. What do you mean?
Don't they have a cat? No, that's Pornhub's only in the United States.
Like, do you have anything else connected to your phone? Because we often have these talks about technology, and then Joe's phone will fail, or like he'll show us his phone, and it's still an old flip phone or something.
It's Bill's rotary phone on the wall.
I got the Note. It's the Note 10. The screen's cracked, but I already killed it.
It always surprised me when Joe's like, "Hey, look at this fancy new thing that I bought that's going to connect to my phone." I'm like, your old burner phone that your grandma gave you? that's what
burner plan, but good phone.
Yeah.
I just realized something. It took me a minute to realize this. Adam, when you arrange the screens, what the people are seeing on the screens, we're all in opposite corners.
You're right.
So that's why when we try to point at each other, we point the wrong way.
Oh, I don't even do it no more.
Yeah, we all point the wrong way because on our screen that we're recording this on, Bill is above me and Joe is to my left.
Yeah.
But the way that Adam did it, there's nobody above me.
Some bitch.
Sorry.
See,
I try to keep everyone on their toes.
That's me. See, you're pointing to me, Bill.
Some bitch.
Should I but here's the problem. Is this the way I normally organize it? I think it is, right?
I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever paid attention.
Because
I rarely actually watch the YouTube, when we're doing this little thing here.
Right. The problem is like
Hashtag Joe's gotta go is already trending.
Well, you can't go now because you just bought hats. So wait till he sends out.
Yeah, I just got hats for the fans, guys. For
Joe,
I haven't shipped Joe's care package yet, so hurry up. Go, Joe. Go.
He's trying to buy your loyalty.
Yes, I'm trying to buy these guys.
Joe,
I'm trying to hide that.
Do you have one of those micron gauge adapters for that?
Oh,
I think it comes with it, Adam.
I don't think so.
Like a
The
45.
Hvac Pro comes with it.
Does it? Mine didn't.
Because I know the micro did, but I'm hoping this does.
99% sure it comes with the.
Zach sent me one to a review one time, and I'm pretty sure it came with like a little stubby 45.
Oh, it did, huh?
Yeah,
interesting.
Like yeah.
Oh, wait. Show that
Maybe
again,
mine
Joe.
did come with it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Let me see the end. That one looks different. It looks like no, that's the one I have. Okay.
Do yourself a favor and pull out the Schrader cord depressor, and then take your Schrader out of your core tool. It pulls better, and then you don't ever have any. Sometimes you have like the Schrader core will like bounce open and close, and you'll get like
on this.
Yeah, would you can adjust it?
No, on your core tool.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, what happens on that is you can twist the Schrader cord depressor out on that, and when the gasket gets really warm, it moves freely, the little depressor, so then it doesn't push the Schrader down enough.
So just pull it out. Yeah, I mean you're just restricting flow anyways. Pull it out and pull the core out and just leave it out.
If you look at it on your app, you'll see it as a bounce on the graph. And if you see that, that means the Schrader's not getting depressed right.
So I'll just pull this right out. You're saying, guys.
Pull the.
Well, I don't pull that out. I don't know what Adam's
do.
talking
I'm
about.
telling you.
Because I don't leave it connected to my Schrader core removal tool because I'm working on so many different things all the time.
I hear you. What got me is Adam saying, "Don't shoot him," because he got the engineer from I think Hvac told him this. It could be under positive pressure and it won't affect the gauge.
100%.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I use mine under positive pressure all the time.
How much positive pressure?
It doesn't matter. I don't start the system up, but I mean, when I go to charge a system, I don't take my core removal tool off. I don't take the micron gauge off. I just pressurize, through the high side. Don't turn it on yet. Once I see positive pressure on the low side, which is usually where I have that, or vice versa, then I remove it. Then I start the system up.
Right. So
yeah,
I mean, Bergman has a bunch of videos on it, Joe. Like if you're like punching the system and you have it on there, it's still in the vacuum, it's holding your vacuum, you pass your decay test, you punch the system, release a little bit of charge, watch your microns climb, watch it go up to until the gauge says HP, high pressure. Then close it back down again. Then put your cores in. That's when I pull all the core removal tools off.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say I get this one a lot too. People ask me, how do you? Let's say that I am doing an evacuation and I've got Schrader core removal tools on there. And then I put Schraders in, right? Or no, let's say you don't put Schraders in, but you're all done with the vacuum and you need to pressurize the system. Well, let's say you're using gauges, okay, with 4-foot hoses. Normally, if you're putting your gauges on a system that has refrigerant in it, you would purge your hoses. But how do you purge a system that's in a vacuum? So I don't put my vacuum pump away until I put the gauges on. Then I pull a quick vacuum on the gauge hoses. Then I charge the system. So
that's
then that way you're keeping it truly.
That's a good idea. But what I've been doing, I mean, you're probably I'm gonna get ridiculed for this. I don't know.
No.
What I usually do is I hook up my jug of refrigerant. I have ball valves on my hoses.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll start blowing a little bit out of like 410 or whatever until you see a little liquid coming out of the line. Then you close the ball valve. And then when you're right about to put your core tool or your hose on the core tool, I crack it just a little bit so it's like pissing out refrigerant,
I do the same thing when I'm charging with smart probes, because with smart probes, you can't hook a vacuum pump back up. So I'll oftentimes, I have a ball valve and I'll do something very similar. So.
Wait, with smart probes, you can't use them while you're pulling a vacuum? Is that what we said?
No, it's difficult to use well, no, actually, no, that I say that. Now that I say that, I'm kind of contradicting myself. So with smart probes, you're always going to have that tiny bit of space between the probe sensor and the system if you put it on while it's in a vacuum. So what I will usually do now that I think about it is something similar to Adam. If I'm charging with smart probes, I won't have the probes on it yet. I'll hook up the refrigerant cylinder with a process hose that's usually 4 feet, and I will open the cylinder and start pissing gas out of the ball valve and connect it while it's slightly pissing gas out. So that way I'm clearing the hose of everything. Then charge the system, then put the smart probes on after. If that makes sense.
Yep.
I'm just tired of putting another Schrader core removal tool for the vacuum gauge. I'm tired of
No, you don't need that anymore. Boom, just let it go.
And it's another possibility of like atmosphere, obviously. So I'm just I'm glad.
Wait. So why don't you need to use your Schrader tools anymore, Joe?
You do
could be under positive pressure, right?
He was saying he used a
gauge,
separate core
oil
tool on the branch of another core tool for his micron gauge so he could isolate it.
Close it off.
No, I got you.
Keep that vacuum. So
what I do, and I'll probably get ridiculed for this as well, is on a majority of the smaller systems that I do, rooftop units, I maybe do something a little bit different, but most of the time I don't have multiple connections onto a system. So actually, let's just use a rooftop unit. I have 2 ports I can connect my hoses to, right? And I don't have smart probes yet. So I just throw my gauges on there, connect to those 2 ports. Sometimes I'll use core removal tools. Most of the time I don't, because it's, a little 5-ton system. And let's be honest, I'm not going to use core removal tools. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll take my suction line, my blue hose coming off of the suction line, and I will just take my micron gauge and put it at the end of my suction hose near my manifold gauges, but then I'll close that side of the gauge. So I'm pulling through my yellow hose, down through my red hose, through the high side, ultimately making where the micron gauge is the lowest point in the system. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're absolutely wrong, and I'm ridiculing you. No,
The farthest from the system, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
That's the farthest from the system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I do. And then when I'm done, since I have a cheapy little CPS micron gauge, and I'm pretty sure you can't really put those under positive pressure, I would assume. But anyway, to pull that off, I just close my ball valve on my suction line and then pull the hose off there. And then I'll do like Adam said, crack a little bit of refrigerant through that hose when I go to put it back on.
Yeah.
You know what I just found out about the 380V, Chris?
What's that?
I was pulling a vacuum on
Tread lightly here. Tread lightly. Tread
on a
lightly.
recovery
No, I'm just
tank,
kidding with you.
and it started making all
piece.
kinds of crazy. So I threw the thing across the roof. No, I'm just joking.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, I was pulling a vacuum. I didn't realize there's a micron gauge built into it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I've never used it. I don't even try to use the manifold for a vacuum.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I do occasionally in certain situations, and I'll say it in a video quite often. Like sometimes, I'm in a hurry, or let's say I'm working on a refrigeration system and it's pumped down. So there's 14 pounds of gas in the receiver. And so basically the receiver's keying valve and the suction reed in the compressor is stopping the refrigerant from getting into the low side. And none of those are completely leak free. So I don't ever try to pull like a super duper. You're not going to get no 500 micron vacuum on a system that's pumped down, because you'll end up pulling all the gas out of the receiver because it'll pull through everything. Nothing is leak free in our systems when they're pumped down. So in situations like that, I'll use my manifold gauge set. I'll put a 3/8 hose on it because I have the 480V. I'll put a 3/8 hose on it and I'll pull through the manifold. And then there's other cases where I'm working on something tiny and I can't get smart probes in there and stuff. I know that sounds weird, but there's certain situations when you're working on really tiny stuff in really confined spaces that you can't get smart probes or, vacuum hoses or anything big in there. And you just got to do what you got to do. Like, you got to remember, yes, people have done it for years. I mean, okay, let's flash back to in the 90s. They had crap in a can that they were selling to people that you didn't have to do evacuations.
Really?
You would spray the shit in the system like you would a leak sealer. And they told you don't need to do an evacuation. It dries everything out.
Can we still buy that?
Even in the mid 2000s, there was a major manufacturer that makes leak sealer now that came out with that stuff too. And it was shit in a can, and you would put it in there, and supposedly it was for mini split installs. You didn't have to do an evacuation.
No way.
I mean, and people do everything. So as long as we do the best we can.
I mean, it's real world, right?
Silly string.
What's that?
Oh, you're going to start talking about silly string.
Yeah. What did you say, Adam?
I was saying it's real world, right? Like, you're not always going to pull down to whatever, like
200 microns with a 500 micron decay.
I would say like half of my jobs, I get down into the 100 something range, half of them. If I'm reusing the line sets, if it's a new line set, I'll get down lower than 100 microns, right? But if it's I would say the other half of the systems, I'm in like the 300 or 400 micron range where it holds up.
Yeah, around
I'm going to argue that any system that has been in operation and you are completely pulling down on all the oil, you're not going to see a true 500 micron vacuum with a perfect decay test. It's not going to happen.
Dude, I'm telling you,
so much shit in the oil.
Certain houses, I get down to a 100 something range.
But on a compressor, or are you just pulling a line set?
Just line set and a new coil.
Line set all day because there's no oil.
Yeah. Right.
See, I just replaced, I changed out that evaporator coil in that Randell make table. And I got down to
how'd that go?
I pulled a 320 micron with my old JB vacuum gauge.
And I would love to see your setup, and I would argue that it's not going to be like a Jim Bergman-esque setup that you pulled that down to. Do you think? I mean, was it like totally legit vacuum micron gauge at one end pulling completely from the other end?
No, just how I explained it to you, how I keep the suction side closed and then
so on your manifold though, right?
He keeps it closed. Yeah.
See,
and I have 2 ports on there.
I would argue that now that I listen to you even more, because apparently I wasn't listening to you earlier, I would argue that if you put that micron gauge on the system, it would read totally different than it actually reads at your gauges, because your gauges are I understand it's the furthest point from there.
It's just at the end of my suction line.
Yeah, and there's something about the decay. The vacuum is one of the most confusing things too.
I know.
But I just know just from all the times I've tried to get this perfect vacuum, and like for instance, I have a video where I took a refrigerator and I converted it from R290 to 134A. It was on the side of my house. I pulled a vacuum on that for 2 days and could not get to 500 microns.
Wow.
2 days. No leaks whatsoever.
California air.
No leaks whatsoever. And
Dry
every
air.
time I'd shake the compressor, it would fly high. And that's why I kept saying to my, and I got a bunch of pushback on this too, that there was nitrogen and refrigerant stuck in the oil and all this crap. 2 days, and I could not pull a perfect vacuum on that.
What was the lowest you got? Under 1,000?
I think, you know, with the vacuum pump running 500 microns, but barely, you know, like I was just aiming for perfect. And then like it would never pass the decay every time because it was in operation before. That's my opinion, is when they're in operation, you're never going to get everything out of the oil. Never. So, and then you get these big giant refrigeration systems that I work on, not big giant, I work on medium sized refrigeration, but you know, that have maybe a miles of equivalent length worth of pipe by the time you do all the 90s and all the weird crap throughout the building. Multiplex systems, you know, that have 5 regions on them and 2 walk-ins and whatever
like that.
But you're never going to get a perfect vacuum on something like that. All you can do is your best. So
Yeah.
Did you guys see Bergman's new video he posted for Measure
I
Quick
saw
today?
it pop up, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's kind of cool. It's like a quick service option for Measure Quick, so you don't have to do all the whole long form BS.
Oh.
So it's
I know
not
that
like
he released something a while back for profiling for like amateur techs because he had said they were getting confused by profiling Measure Quick and setting it up. Is it something to do with that, like a simplified report and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a simplified. Yeah, I think it is simplified. I
There's
can't remember.
one like on the report, or even when you switch it to that feature, it doesn't show a traditional manifold gauge. It just shows like a red and a green, and it does something different. And
this still had that, but it was like, I think it's not, maybe it's not as detailed, but it's like more, you know, you need to go in and like benchmark a system and type the whole birth record and social security number of everything.
Which is difficult. I usually don't do that at all.
It's not, it doesn't, you don't have to do any of that. Basically.
I get confused when I try to get into reporting and the fancy stuff in Measure Quick. And I'm not knocking it at all. My personal preference is I don't use Measure Quick for diagnosing or troubleshooting. I just use it because it puts everything at my fingertips, and I can look at the subcooling, the superheat, the airflow, and say, I have really low superheat, I have low airflow. Okay, I got some airflow issues or something's going on here. So and then occasionally I'll look at their diagnostics and say, oh yeah, it kind of matches up with what I'm saying. But I don't use the profiling or the reporting either.
I really want to start using it for like benchmarking, like when you're commissioning a unit, you know what I mean? I really would like to start doing that, but I guess it's a learning curve. I should do it at my own house and try it out, right? Because like the last thing you want to do is sit there and like fumble around with something when you're trying to leave at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right?
Speaking of your house, Joe Shear brought it up, and I was going to ask anyways. He reminded me, what's going on with the project?
It's working. I mean, I don't know. It was working before, so I don't know.
But you
For
put
how long, right?
there now, right?
What's that?
You got an accumulator on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your pressures?
I'm just catching up on the chat, and Joe Shear is talking about the magic drying crap in a can called Dry R.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the stuff you just spray in the system so you don't have to.
Yeah, you spray in the system like an additive, and supposedly, I think it might even be manufactured to today, but supposedly you don't have to. It must turn it into a solid and get stuck in the oil or something like that.
I bet you a can of that weighs less than my vacuum pump.
Yeah, probably. I don't know about you guys, but I've had I do work for a lot of different restaurant chains, and I've had one where they have a specialty guy that comes out and does these certain jobs that I want no part of, when they have to like butcher up a reach in to fix a really weird leak. So they've had that guy come out where I know to the point where I'll call the facilities director and be like, yeah, we got another one of those. You're going to want to call so-and-so and have him come out and do his magic. And then one time I always wondered what he did. So one time I followed up after him, and he left like 3 cans of that Easy Seal bullshit on the roof. And I was so pissed. I called the facilities director. I was like, dude, don't ever send this guy out to my restaurants. This is like, now I got to clean up all this crap. I'm going to have TXV failures and all this leak sealant crap everywhere. And drives me nuts, man. But he just left all the cans up there too.
3 cans in the same system, or are these?
Yeah, 3 cans in the same system.
Wow, man.
Must have had a real leak over there, eh?
Just pouring that stuff in there. Huh?
The thing is that I saw him butcher up the reach-in and braze on some welds too. But then there was 3 empty cans of Easy Seal shit. This is like maybe a 3 horsepower medium temp system that has it's a multiplex system, so it has 5 evaporator coils on it, and then it's the compressors up in a rack on the roof. That pissed me off so bad. because I mean, I still work on the system to this day, and it's like when you have a TXV that fails, you're like, oh, is it that? You know, like, is it that easy steel shit?
Gotcha.
Probably is.
Probably.
You know, I was at the suppliers to pick up some stuff for the weekend job, and I heard it again. And I know you guys, I haven't seen you guys use it. ProPress, Frigid or Milwaukee for iron for the gas line.
I've used it. I have it's Mega Press. Yeah.
Oh, you do have it for iron. Dude, I've been hearing really good things about it, man.
I'm telling you. If you got to like repipe boilers and stuff like that, and it's like awkward spots to get to, Sawzall it, clean it up, boom, done.
And I heard the cleanup is really not much, just like to take off maybe the burrs.
Yeah.
See, Clive says you have to hide the cans so nobody knows you did that.
Yeah.
At least be that bold. So then I'm chasing a mystery instead of leaving the cans. I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You can drop
that's
them into
okay.
the plumbing stack.
Just think of the labor you're saving as well. That's all. It's you don't have to. You're on a rooftop. You got to do a quick little thing. You just got to bring the ProPress, Mega Press, whatever you choose, and bang.
I want to use one. I have the opportunity. I mean, obviously, because I work with Sportland, I can get my hands on a Zoom lock, but I just haven't had a need to use it yet because I can't use it on reach-ins and things like that.
No, obviously.
The Mega Press, though, I can think of some AC installs when I have to do black iron gas pipe, and it's like, dude, that Mega Press gas pipe thing looks real, but the fittings look so weird.
They're expensive.
It's so hard to trust those.
Nice. I know. That's the thing.
It's scary. It's like, man,
I don't think you have to worry about anything with the fittings failing. It's just the fittings are super freaking expensive. They're ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how much are they?
I'm kind of guessing. I don't know if my memory is right because I haven't bought it.
Well, let's just think about it this way. I mean, I know the fitting's got to be expensive, but if I think of my tiny package units where I have to do maybe 6 feet of 3/4 inch black iron pipe with 690s, I got to make a trap and a sediment thing, and I think that because I'm not, it takes me a long time. So just doing that's going to take me like 4 hours, 3 hours by the time I run back and forth between Home Depot, buying that because I don't have threaders and shit like that.
Well, it's going to be at least like $30 a fitting.
Yeah, but that would save me so much time as long as I still build for that. It's not like I'm not going to charge the customer. I would still charge the customer the same price that it would take me to pipe it all myself, and then I'd sell them those fittings. And
exactly.
But you know what they say, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's my brother was buying a car like 10 years ago. He was at a dealer and they had a Hummer there. He said, what kind of gas mileage does it get? And that was the answer he received.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
There's a guy that I watch his YouTube videos, Demolition Ranch, Matt Carricker. And he does gun videos on Demolition Ranch, and then he has Off the Ranch, and he has Vet Ranch, and a couple different channels. But he drives a Hummer, and or he has one for a side vehicle that he drives, like a side chick. But he's like, every time I drive this, like he's pretty real in it. He's got a military grade one, and he drives it, and he's like, it's raining. His face is getting wet as he's driving down the road, and it's got a full hard top and everything, but he's just getting wet, and there's water going everywhere, and it overheats and all these problems. And he's like, yeah, I really wanted a Hummer, huh?
And that's like the military version?
Yeah, no air conditioning. The heater barely works.
I would have thought that would have been a lot better, like built sturdy, No,
it's not no Arnold Schwarzenegger Hummer that's fully air conditioned with all that fancy stuff. And it got nothing. It can't even, you almost
keeps the rain out at least.
Yeah, you almost can't even drive it on the freeway. It's so slow.
Oh, wow. I had no idea those were such trash.
I heard
they never stop. I mean, once they drive in low speed all the time, and they just keep going through everything until they get into.
I heard that GM has that on their future list of things to do. They're going to bring back the Hummer, and they're going to try to do a full electric version of the Hummer.
Interesting.
Tesla or what?
That doesn't make my day better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joe brings up a good question. Joe Shearer, he says, are sediment traps really needed on a roof? And so I'm going to kind of segue on that one too, but I would almost argue I have never, and granted I live in California, but I have never opened a sediment trap and seen sand or moisture here in California. Never.
I have.
I know several systems that don't have sediment traps and have operated that way for 20 years and never had a problem. So
the only sediment traps I've ever opened are on rooftops.
Yeah.
I've had them where you turn it over and like oil comes out, like a good amount of oil dumps out of it,
Yeah. But I think it's more of a Midwest thing where you have to have those, I would think.
It's cold over here. You have
I
to.
think
Code here too.
I'm guessing the oil comes from like if the gas company is doing something, they're threading pipe, or somebody else is working in pipe, because you'll have remnants of oil inside or on the end of the fittings or whatever. I kind of think that might be what it is. We have a phone caller. Pizza Hut delivery.
We don't hear anything.
Pizza Hut. Order in or take out. Hello?
Hello.
Speaking of that, before the show, I got like an awesome food delivery at my house.
I think the phone's upside
Oh
down.
yeah. Talk about that, Chris.
Yeah, like we were just having our pre-talk on the show, and Adam says, "Hey, did you check your front door?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Did you check your front door?" And he goes, "Go check your front door." And I go out there. I'm like, "I was just out there." And I go out there, and there's a freaking bunch of Cajun food sitting out that you guys had delivered. So
Just
thank
hanging
you.
off your doorknob.
Overtime.
Hello.
That was awesome, because it's this weird situation too, where I had heard the doorbell ring and I went out there and there was packages right in front of my door, but I didn't walk around the corner where my front patio is. So when I opened the door, I looked out and there was a guy getting in his car, and I waved and I said, "Thank you." And he said, "Oh, thank you so very much." And I'm sitting there thinking, why did the Amazon guy say, "Thank you so very much"? I was confused, and I walked in and I told my wife with all these Amazon packages, I go, the Amazon guy was thanking me. Like, that's weird. And I was kind of confused. And then 5-6 minutes later, I come in here and log on the show, and Adam goes, "Check your door." They were delivering the food. The packages were already sitting on my porch. The guy just delivered food, and that's why he was saying thank you. So I was like, oh, that makes sense.
You have a phone caller. Hello?
All right.
I don't have a phone.
Hello, how you doing?
Whoa.
Not bad.
Just blasted.
How are you?
Turn it down.
Oh, this is Glass Monster.
There he
Okay,
is.
cool.
Ooh.
You were saying, is there any phone calls, pizza delivery, and all that? And well, it's a number. So here I am.
Yeah. There you go.
So what's up, man?
And
What you
still
doing?
not
Mike?
a mod on channel.
Well, we're not adding any more mods right now, but
We got
We have too many already.
mods tend to get
How's
big
everything
heads.
working?
And
We're living the dream.
Yeah.
Just living the dream, eh?
Yeah, I had a long week.
Now, what's the dream?
I don't know.
What's the dream? Hanging around Trumpopolis?
Yeah, not my dream. I need to be living on a beach somewhere. I'll tell you that.
that I need to do.
I can't.
wanna go
I
with-
can't tell you how many times during the week I talk to myself. I'm like, I can't do this shit anymore.
They shut down the beaches
Got a
out
question.
here for the weekend.
I
Shut down the
asked you
beaches because they were
a
afraid of
refrigeration
people
question.
crowding in there.
He's got a refrigeration question for you, Chris and Bill.
You have a refrigeration question? Go ahead.
I am
Brown.
building
Brown.
a 30,000 watt audio power amplifier, but my power stage has to be basically refrigerated. What would you recommend for a cooling system for that heat thing?
You're going to have an engineer design it, because
Hey, Adam. Hey, guys.
you're going to have someone
Oh.
design it because of the humidity and the potential. You dry out the air too much, you're going to create static electricity. So anytime you're dealing with
Servers.
server rooms, radio rooms, you got to go with a fully engineered system by someone like Data Air or Liebert or something like that, because you have to control the humidity to the perfect
No,
degree,
no.
high
The
and low.
amplifier is going to have the freezing system built right into the heat sink.
Oh, then you're gonna have to reach out to the amplifier, because they probably have some kind of a glycol cooled system in there, right?
Yep, what
I'm
Chris
the one
said.
building the amp.
Yep.
I'm the one building the amp.
Yeah, they're gonna have some sort of a glycol cooling
No,
system
he's
in there.
building it. He doesn't. He wants to go. He's going rogue.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole myself.
I would just put a sprinkler next to it and just let the sprinkler run nonstop.
You gotta go water cool all day long.
You know, on another note, you get these fly-by-night companies that people that want to start building grow rooms and stuff like that. Here in California, we were like the second or third state to adopt the legalizing marijuana, and they have these giant grow rooms, and everybody wants to cool down the rooms. And then you have these companies where they were just hiring people to install mini splits, and they were just installing mini splits on entire grow operations without worrying about humidity or anything. And I'm not a avid pot aficionado or anything, but I know that you're gonna have some humidity problems there for sure. Drying shit out, people aren't gonna like big ol' amounts of pot getting dried out in the wrong way.
No, my grow room, I have a humidification system as well as the heat pump.
Yeah,
So
All right, man. Well, we got another caller coming in, so we're gonna let you go.
I think Randy's on here. Randy?
Okay, thanks,
Yeah,
Glass Monster, for calling.
Glass Monster, thanks for calling in, bud. We're gonna take some other calls, so we'll catch you next time.
Going.
Thank you. Randy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Randy, how
How you
are
doing,
you?
Randy? How was that pizza last week?
All right.
I
Good. I actually enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Cool.
very nice. Very nice.
I still have to
I'm
send
glad
you out a shirt, Randy.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank Bill.
Yeah. And guess what? I got the thermostat fixed.
Cool. What'd you do?
If you go into the system settings, menu option 9, they call it stage differential. It was set at 3, so I changed it to 1 and it fixed it.
For some reason, I was thinking menu option 7, but I knew I was off by a couple on that one. So
Good job, Randy.
So you
Yeah,
changed
good
the
job,
differential from 3
But
to
the thing
1,
is,
huh?
I don't see how that would have made a difference, though, because ours is a single stage thermostat. So really, I wouldn't think that would have mattered.
you never know. Sometimes, hey, you know what? Whenever I call Adam to ask him for help, you guys want to know what Adam tells me to do?
Call somebody
Reset.
else.
Kick it.
He says, "Did you turn it off?"
Turn it off and turn it back on again.
Oh, yeah, turn off.
That's
turn
what
it
Adam
back
tells
on.
me. Sometimes it's the simplest things that fix things. So
Yeah.
It worked with Bill's
If
mic.
you look, I sent a video. I posted a video of what it was doing on the Overtime website, on the Overtime Facebook page.
oh, cool.
If you
I'll
look
have to check that out.
Under the post that I put of what it was doing, if you look, just as it hit 77, it's coming on now. Where it was staying 77 before it would kick on. Like it barely touches 77 and it turns on. So it fixed it.
All right, Randy. Well, we got another call coming in, so we're gonna let you go. Okay, bud.
All right.
All right.
Have a
Thanks.
good night, guys.
buddy.
Randy.
Thanks. Thanks, Randy. Rando.
That's Randy Ravioli right
Bye.
there.
So,
Rambo.
would you guys ever touch like grow room operations or anything?
I would.
Who's that?
Hey, well,
Is that our favorite Mexican?
yes, that's what they're all.
Yeah, I am Mexican, Chris.
That's
You are
our
Mexican?
All right.
Ay, caramba.
I think my neighbors have their music really loud. Hold on.
What's your favorite Spanish song? It's La Bamba.
No, it's Amor Amor.
Amor, amor.
I don't know what the name of the song is, but that's what they sing in it the whole time. I love you, I love you, I love you, or something like that.
The song you sing to, what's his name? Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel? Nah, it'd be a different song. It'd be Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Oh, very
Oh,
nice.
God. All right. Hashtag Chris needs to go.
That song. You imagine Chris doing that little dance on the hood of a car.
Oh man.
Both classy and erotic at the same time.
Yamo just hung up. He's gone.
I would hang up too if I had to listen.
He just
to this
wanted to hear his
conversation.
intro music.
Yeah, I know. Chris was asking about those
The grow rooms. I'm afraid to touch them just because of the complexity. And again, I have a hard time when I don't understand exactly what's going on or how things are set up. So like the only way I would do a grow room op is if it was totally spec'd out and told like, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. This is the equipment. If I had any part in sizing the equipment, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, sizing. I wouldn't touch it either. As far as
because
size.
it does take a special art. You gotta see how much what's it called humidity is coming from the plants, the glass, all this kind of pints you gotta be removed. Fine, I understand that. But after that, if you get the right equipment, because they make little what's it called? I can't forget. I forget who makes them. Yeah, dehumidifiers just for grow rooms. But you get any dehumidifier, and I'm telling you, if you size it right, you're not going to be doing sensible heat
A
loads
certain
there.
part of the growing process you don't want to dehumidify.
Yeah, because you don't want to dry
up
it
to
out
the,
a long time.
Yeah, you want to dry it out at certain times.
Yeah.
and that's up to
Because you
me,
want
I
the
guess.
plant to live and you want the plant to
Yeah.
again, guys, full disclosure, never smoked pot in my life, no joke. Don't even know, but I could only imagine that during the growing process, I would imagine that you want higher than normal humidity while you're growing the plant, but then obviously towards the end you want to dry it out when you're curing it, right?
And those systems could do it. They'll keep it at 60, 70%, drop it down all the way probably to 45% the most,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I would imagine.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
a quick story. This other guy I'm friends with that owns a heating and air company, he needed a bunch of custom ductwork made. So he came over to the shop. I was pretty slow, so I just helped him make it all. He brought the metal, He's like, how much do I owe you? Like, don't worry about it. He's like, I went to Jamaica. He was on the trip with us. And so he knows my wife has a medical card and she indulges on the wacky tobacco every so often, you know?
The devil's lettuce.
Exactly. So he's like,
Stuff will kill you. Haven't you ever seen the Reefer Madness movie that they released in the 50s?
Babies out the window because you're so high.
Yeah.
the second day he came back to finish up with the last couple fittings, he's like, oh, here, since you're not going to charge me, this is for your wife. He has a grow room in his basement. He gave me a Ziploc bag like this big, completely stuffed. I'm like,
With oregano.
the DEA. I'm like, how many pounds is
It's a
this?
setup. It's a setup. They were setting you up. You did a whole job, and then they were going to come bust you because you accepted it.
Yeah, no,
It's not fully legal in Chicago, is it?
no, it is. It's legal,
Is it?
but I think
Is
it's
it?
like I really don't know the laws.
It's similar to California.
Card, though?
You're allowed to grow it for your own personal use in California. So I can grow it in my backyard. I can have so many plants. I can have so much on me at any given time. I don't have to have a license anymore. You don't have to have a medical card anymore.
I don't know.
Right, Ricky.
You have
Like if you get
weed
pulled over by the FBI, they can arrest you because it's federally illegal, but it's
Yeah, it's a federal law.
You know,
according to the state, it's legal.
you know what else? You know, another term for it. It's called MOTA.
Mota, that's smoke.
Mota?
Do you have mota on your house, Chris?
No, I
that
don't
is
have no
legal.
Mota at my house. Yamo, I have never smoked pot in my life.
There you go. Bam.
All right,
Never.
when AHR 2021,
Yeah.
I'm bringing a bag, baby.
We're gonna reefer madness right at HR. We're gonna freak out and
I get in trouble on this AHR too. I got in trouble on the last AHR too. But I can't go into that story right now. That's for another day.
but we may all be there depending on if Joe gets a passport or not.
Yeah, I got the paperwork today, so that's one step.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
We're gonna find out that it's an online trade show.
Yeah,
Is what
and,
I know.
and what's going to happen
That
is
sucks so bad.
they're going to let Joe into the country, but then since he's in America and we
Lock it
have,
down.
yeah, they're not going to let him back out since of all the
house.
COVID crap. He's going to be stuck here forever.
He's gonna be he's gonna be a refugee stuck. It's like locked up abroad, but in America.
He can just come work for you then, Adam.
That would be
There you
great.
go. Get
Joe,
your
you
little-
can
that,
come down to California, bro.
So
I'll give you.
yeah.
I'll sign your temporary visa and let you work for me.
look at that. Look at that class. You know, look at that class.
You know
see
what?
that? Look at Adam's face. Look at Adam's face. He's like, Chris, I'm gonna fucking
give you
kill
credit,
you.
Do you
I
sure,
don't
Chris?
think
Do
I
you
can
want
show
a
you
Canadian
guys
on
the
your
emails
shop?
from
You need
people.
to buy a drum of maple syrup.
I get emails from people all the time asking me to, and I'm like, they're like, can you sponsor me to come to America? And I'm like, how the fuck do I even do that?
That's what, Yamo, how do I
do that.
sponsor you? I'll sponsor you, Yamo. Tell me.
Hey,
You
we've
go
been
and
telling
you
Yamo to do it.
over the wall.
They ain't letting nobody in the United States right now.
No, they're not.
They're not letting the
No,
United
right now,
States anywhere else. We're not allowed to go to Mexico
Oh, isn't that the most ironic thing in
Yeah.
the world? We're not allowed to go to Europe right now.
or Mexico. Mexico won't let us in through Arizona
they're
or
not.
whatever.
I didn't
No.
know that.
Yeah.
It's the irony.
True that.
Sorry,
The
Yamo.
United States government would let me have even a tourist visa until January 1st, 2021. So
Oh,
I
probably
hope
better that way
I can
anyways,
get
Yama, because-
the visa on time for AHR.
It's a 50-50 gamble on whether or not it'll be easier for you to get a tourist visa, because by then, wait, does the new president potentially take office by that time? No, he doesn't do
No.
it till like January, February, right?
Yeah, he's not sworn in till
Isn't it February or March? No,
I think it's
February.
March.
And when I say 50-50, I'm not saying which side I lean politically. I'm just saying there's a possibility that you might have a different administration that'll be much more lenient to.
I would venture to say either one's just going to be like, don't let nobody in.
Well, if the medical crap, who am I kidding? If the medical crap's still going on,
It's
of course
going
it's
on.
gonna
They said the last, I was reading today, the last pandemic lasted, of 1918, it lasted 3 years.
that was the Spanish flu one.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that a trip? My wife was telling me, she's been doing a bunch of research on that, and she was like showing me pictures of them like wearing cloth masks back then. Like they had like mask requirements everywhere too. Now,
Wait,
granted,
so they weren't wearing N95?
no,
Damn.
yeah,
They're just
Terry-
putting old burlap potato sacks around their mouths.
Burlap potato sack.
my poor kids, like they're not even going to get to go back to school. My daughter's like That's what sucks too. 3 weeks ago, my daughter started tennis practice because she's going into high school. So she started tennis practice, and like my wife was all bummed out because my wife had to get up at 6 a.m. to drop her off at 6:30, and which was cool though because my wife was getting up with me every day. And then my daughter got a message from the tennis coach last weekend, and he was like, "Yeah, no more practice," because even before they like closed down California again, they stopped all sports. So. I'm glad we didn't, because my daughter wanted to do cheerleading too, and they were saying how much that was going to cost us. Oh my god, dude, it was like $2,000 or something just to be on the JV team.
Yeah,
tennis.
I just paid like $1,000 to register my 3 kids for school like a little while ago, a couple weeks ago. So I want to know if school's only going to be a half day or they're not going to have school. Do you think they're going to refund me my money if my wife has to teach them?
Probably not. That's why I haven't booked my AHR stuff yet, because I don't want to bitch with anybody about giving my money back.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I have a problem with paying tax money for education and stuff here in California, and my kids aren't going to school, and they're getting. I'm taking over the conversation here, but like I've tried to talk to my wife, and I'm like, we should just homeschool our kids, because I'm not a homeschool fan, but at least we can go through a homeschool program, because it's not like you do all the work yourself now. You just pay a fee and you go to a program and they give you all the crap. I said, we're going to get a better education from a homeschool program than from public school trying to homeschool kids right now. So
yeah,
it's a mess.
Yeah.
I feel bad for these parents, dude. They're trying to, some of them.
I feel bad. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say some of them they're not used to having their kids at home, and they have to work from home, and their kids are getting neglected, and kids have their ears and eyes in headlights.
Again, I live in California, and arguably it's a 3-income state to survive in California. It's like living in New York City. Yeah. A shitty house in a shitty neighborhood right now is going for $500,000 in a shitty neighborhood.
Yeah.
And, a nice house in a middle-class neighborhood is going for $700,000 to $1.5 million in a nice medium class, So you arguably have to have 3 incomes to live here. Okay. So then all your kids are at home, and how do they go to work if their kids are at home, especially if they have young kids, or if they can even go to work, and I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. These are just the problems that everybody has. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can't, the burden. I mean, if they let everybody go back to work today, but they didn't send the kids back to school, most of the people couldn't go back to work because they'd have nowhere to send their kids.
You need sister wives.
Oh, we can move to Utah to do that.
Plural marriages
too. But then again, in Utah, though, wherever it's legal, it's probably, the cost of living's much less. So you could probably afford to have a good job and still have like 4 or 5 wives.
Yeah.
And 17 kids like that one I had.
We should be careful because we don't want to bash anybody that lives in Utah, but sorry, that's my nice little jab right there.
If you live in Utah, chances are you can't understand what we're saying right now.
So, if you live in Utah, bark twice.
Sorry. I was going to say HVAC IR. I forgot that you're in Canada. If you are, I might put one aside. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
I thought about keeping hats and like shirts on my truck just for people that run into me, but then I wonder if people would swamp me.
Yeah, we're going to order another set, but these ones for sure. Guys, we got Flex Fit, large and extra large to give away, and snapbacks. It's all good stuff, man.
Snapbacks.
Go ahead. I was going to say something regarding to T-Tech, saying about LG or whatever. What's up? Good to see you. LG, I didn't know they make a dehumidifier. That's pretty cool. What does it do? I can't even speak. But anyways, go ahead.
Real quick, Jessica Egan, I still owe you some shirts, and I haven't sent them to you for a reason. Just saying this public so I can screw everybody else and ruin the conversation. Now that the website is just about to be set up, Jessica, I've got a way to figure this out. So I'll be getting in touch with you soon.
Yeah, I owe her stuff too, and I haven't sent it for a reason as well. So.
Same with
liar.
What's your reason, Adam? I want to hear this one.
Actually, it came from Lids, Ted. Good call.
It's because every time I go to the post office, I get a flat tire, and then by the time I get there, it's closed.
Yeah, it's rough.
Every time. I got a stack of 9 tires in my driveway because I can't make it there.
It's going to happen soon, I promise.
Do you hear that, guys? Do you hear that?
We heard it.
What was
That's
it?
fireworks in Canada for you guys.
See?
For us.
Oh, see, my house. Okay, I'm not kidding with you. I live in a I live in a nice, quiet neighborhood, but it's on the edge of a really bad neighborhood, and like there's bad neighborhoods all around me. We just live in like this little secret area that's hidden gem kind of a thing. And so on 4th of July and New Year's, I'm truly afraid to go outside because it's not fireworks that are going off.
Yeah,
It's people shooting into the air with assault rifles, and they're not semi-automatic because you can tell by the way that they're shooting.
Wow.
Nice.
Arguably, again, I am going to get political here. This is to prove that just because you make something illegal doesn't mean that they're going to go away, because we have lots of automatic weapons being fired right around the corner from my house, right into the air.
Yeah, it turns out bad guys don't follow the laws.
That's
True.
very true.
I just don't imagine like shooting a gun over and over again into the air would be that much fun.
Yeah, I don't get
No.
it.
But you ever
Whatever
see
goes
like
up, must come down.
you ever see a wedding like in where we at war? Come on, Middle East. A Middle Eastern wedding. That's like a thing. They just all go outside, start shooting into the air. And it's like, I want to know, like, I'm sure it's not every wedding, but I mean, there's got to be one in like 50 weddings where the groom ends up dying because of a damn bullet.
Somebody gets hit.
Or a cousin. Oh, damn it. My cousin got shot.
Or how about the Greek weddings? Is it the Greek weddings where they break the glasses? That
And then
sounds
they
like
go
more
in the
fun.
air. Opa. And then
Yeah.
I thought
There's like
isn't that
cheese.
Jewish. I thought that was a Jewish tradition.
No, I think Jewish, they throw money.
Opa. Well, no, Jewish, they pick them up too. But when they say Opa, isn't that Greek? That's like a Greek thing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cheese.
No.
Opa cheese.
Oh,
I'm gonna say it's a cheese.
Cheese. So what do you guys got lined up this week? Are you guys taking the rest of the weekend off? What about you, Adam? You gonna work this weekend?
I don't know. It's going to be like solid hot here, like for the next
Yeah, same.
5-6 days.
We're getting a
so,
heat wave, Chris, up here, all of us.
Yeah.
Have they shut you down yet, Adam?
No. We're
Bill,
on
they
like,
shut you down.
what do they call it? Section 4. What is it called?
Phase 4?
Phase 4? Yeah.
Section 4.
Section 4. Section
Sounds like a bad movie.
Section 7G.
Cell block C.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Bill, I heard you say that they shut you guys down.
No,
Restaurant stuff?
they reclosed bars basically, but our corona numbers apparently are still spiking, so they'll probably start phasing in some more shutdowns, I would imagine.
What about you, Joe?
I will be
Anything?
doing that, and I'll be videoing it. So look out. That install, that change out, that green monster is going out. And this new, I'm going with Ream this time. Weather King is going in. So
That has nothing to do with what Chris is talking about.
no.
It's okay.
Here we're just staying at plateau. About I think we're at phase 2. The numbers have been staying pretty.
Wait, you guys have
Even.
phases too?
Yeah. of
Did you
course.
just copy our phases?
Yeah.
We're your brothers from different mothers.
Dude, can you just come up with something original, please?
Dude, we're 2 steps away. We're 2 steps from just absorbing Canada.
Yeah.
We're literally 2
I mean,
steps.
they got universal health care. They kind of
We're 2, you know, ironically, we're 2 steps away from absorbing Canada, but yet we don't want to absorb Mexico. Like, I don't understand that one. But
I'd rather take Mexico, to be honest with you. They have some nice beaches.
it's just they got the cartel problem. That's
yeah.
Canada. What are they going to throw beer cans at us? Like
They're gonna have to take like half our army is just gonna go towards fighting the cartel.
the only problem with Canada is you have that weird English or England kind of a thing, right? Because you guys are technically queen crap.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
you have those
true.
weird formalities still
God
up there.
save the queen.
We on the news they say the weather in Celsius.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
that's
we
weird.
have to change that.
y'all are gonna have to learn American fucking the only country in the world that still uses standard system.
And because you guys use it, we gotta friggin' use it for all our shit.
Well,
I
hey,
do have to say we are ass backwards,
You have to
Yeah.
start saying some bitch, and you have to use miles
So
per hour.
rich.
and you have to start saying "made in America," but then that doesn't mean Canada or Mexico.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the one that I don't understand. When people say it's made in America, well, which America? North America or South America?
obviously the only one that matters.
Yeah,
Oh, get out of here.
North America minus Mexico and Canada. So made in the United States. Well, yeah, you know what I meant.
Right? Right, exactly. Exactly.
I try to catch myself lately. If somebody's if I'm talking, I'm like, yeah, America. And they're like,
America.
which America? Then you
like to
just
say
then
that.
you could like finish it off by saying America.
Yeah. I say that right in the right time of the conversation when someone's usually getting heated and they get all upset and they say, yeah, we need to buy more American made stuff. And I said, which America? What do you mean? North or South? You know what I mean? What, the United States? Yeah. You know, and they get all flustered. It's like, yeah, you dumbass.
What would be funny is if you came back, Chris, and said, come on, man, America, like Adam's saying. Like, oh, okay.
Dumb people are usually highly emotional.
But it is weird, Joe. You do have a high, what is it, Quebec, that has such a French influence?
Yeah, they still speak French like 99%, right?
We met a couple on vacation, and they were like, oui, oui, je m'en
Yeah, Quebec,
prends.
they do. Quebec is like they like to stick to themselves kind of thing. They like to be their own little.
Do you speak French, Joe? Tell us the truth.
No.
Oh.
Do French people like French fries?
Or French bread?
French fries are American.
No, that's freedom fries.
Do they French kiss?
French kiss, good one.
What about French toast? Do they eat French toast, Joe?
I like
With
French
maple
toast.
syrup?
You know,
I know they don't use
Oh,
deodorant.
dude. French toast in Quebec with maple syrup is like the Canadian treat. I'm telling you.
Say
Terry
it right.
said it. Terry B said it. We bathe in maple syrup, and like he said, yeah, we're what's the other one? Kilometers. You guys are miles per hour. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody knows what a kilometer is.
yeah. Remember that? That's awesome. Why does I can't do that?
I bet all your public drinking fountains squirt out maple syrup too, don't they?
There is the funny thing about in the United States too is that whenever you go work in a hospital or any kind of a medical environment, when you're working on the refrigerators, they're always in the metric system. So you have to learn Celsius and all this different stuff. And you're like, okay, it's so much freaking math. Like, and when you start doing the math, you're like, why the fuck do we have to do this math? Why can't we just use Celsius? Like, why? It's just so much easier if we just,
I know.
Come on, 0 degrees, guys, is
It's freezing. 100 degrees is boiling.
Why is 32 degrees freezing? That's the stupidest fucking thing in the world.
Right. Thank you.
That is
Woo.
the stupidest thing in the world.
The United
I
States,
agree.
instead of switching to Celsius, they'll just switch to like Kelvin or Rankine.
Well, now here's
Ranking, yeah.
here's another
Absolutes.
question. All these like little races and runs that people do, why do they say kilometers? Why is it like, I'm going to go run a 5K,
Oh, a
guys?
5K.
I'm going to go run a 5K.
Well, they say that. You don't say 5 mile.
No.
I'm gonna go run a 5K, which is 3.5 approximate miles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go run.
It's like, hey, loser, go to
I'm glad you guys
Canada,
actually see
eat
that.
some maple
Awesome.
Oh,
syrup.
it's just dumb. But I mean, you could never change us. We're so stubborn in our ways.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know.
Chevy would never adopt kilometers as their
We're
only.
dumb and we're really emotional about stuff.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why
we,
we
like, no joke though. If we are so emotional about that, we would revolt and people would die if they had.
would.
to change
They really
over to
would.
The metric systems.
Hey, look
Yes.
what happened when they tried to make people wear face masks.
Oh, I know.
But have you ever tried to like measure with a metric ruler? It's so much easier. And like adding metric measurements is freaking simple compared to fractions.
Yeah, it is dumb, especially and people, I would argue people that are in the know, like mechanics and technicians, honestly would advocate for the metric system, because when it comes to doing anything, measurements or anything like that, you're like,
Right.
why the fuck does it have to be this hard?
Yeah.
You know? Or nothing worse than, and that's the worst thing too, when you're working in a hospital setting on refrigerators and you want to maintain 41 degree or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and you find out that it's, these weird decimal places. There's no, like, between 41 and 42, it's not 1 degree Celsius. It's
Right.
like 1.725432116. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
I have a metric ruler that I use when I'm traversing a duct. Try traversing a duct with a regular ruler with fractions.
Right.
Try
I don't know
it.
what two of those
Wait.
things mean.
I was gonna say I'm never gonna traverse a duct, so
Yeah.
traversing a duct is stupid.
No.
See Scott Jones, what he said.
What did he say?
Who said
Read it.
what?
Canada
Scott
has or
Jones.
had pomegranate flavored ginger ale. Booked for 3 days this week, and I was so glad to get south of me. Oh, that's funny.
Jeez.
Ginger ale was my jam though when I was drinking soda.
Yeah.
Ginger
ginger
ale
ale.
right there. That is my weakness.
Diet Pepsi, bro.
No, come on, dude, bro, you're fucking killing yourself. If you're gonna drink, diet is so much worse than straight Pepsi.
Oh, I know it is. That's why I had kidney stones a
Drink
while back.
Pepsi, dude.
That's why.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm switching to like flavored waters now. I know it's not like 100%
Bill.
the best thing, but
Yeah,
it's
You're-
much
you're- keep doing that, because I know you try to eat somewhat healthy. Keep doing that. And I completely nix soda. I don't drink any soda at all. But what I do drink is carbonated water, just plain carbonated water.
Try Spindrift, dude. It's awesome. It's like
Spindrift
carbonated.
is decent. With the carbonated water, I started with just sparkling water, which is just carbonated water, and added a lime to it. And then
That's what Spindrift is. That's like the definition of Spindrift.
But my problem with Spindrift, and I drink them too, though, because I drink Spindrifts now and the other ones. But my problem is that one ingredient on there that drives me the fuck nuts. There's no sugar, no anything, but there's natural flavor. What the fuck is natural flavor?
Fruit. It says the juice.
No, it's not fruit. It says does not contain any fruit juice, but it has natural flavor.
No.
And they can put anything they want in there. All natural flavors.
What did you say, Bill?
They can put anything they want in there, almost, and call it natural flavor.
Yes, that's
documentary about that.
Oh yeah, and get, because Bill and I, well, my wife and Bill share a lot of the same vegan bullshit, weird stuff things, right?
High five.
And watch some of those documentaries with my wife, and I'm like, what the fuck you make me watch this meat documentary for? I don't want to watch this.
There's so much scary stuff in the food.
Make me turn
you know, I'm going to get off on a little bit of a tangent here because this is one of my passions, right? You go to Walmart, Meijer, Kroger, wherever you go, and you buy your store-bought foods and your cans and your packages and everything. You get home and you eat it and you think it's all good. There is so much crap and antibiotics and garbage in the food that we eat. It surprises me that when we get a pandemic like COVID-19, everybody's like, oh, we got to wear face masks. Everybody's got to get healthy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, what about our obesity levels? What about all the shit everybody eats on a daily basis? Nobody worries about that. But now all of a sudden, everybody's like, hey, we got to wear face masks because nobody wants to get sick. Now, granted, COVID-19 is bad. Don't get me wrong. But, why is it just like we tend to just have this narrow view of what we want to look at as a society. And they're like, yeah, COVID-19, let's focus on that. That's really bad. It's killing a lot of people.
That's very true.
Obesity, it's killing like 300,000 people every year.
Watch that Disney movie, WALL-E. And that has some undertones in it. You think it's just a Disney cartoon movie, but when you find out that we're living on a spaceship because we destroyed the Earth, and we've been living on that spaceship for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Just watch the movie WALL-E and then think about that when you're watching it.
Yeah, so I never knew what that movie was about. I never watched it.
Good movie.
Watch it. It's actually a really good cartoon movie, but it's for kids, but then it has an undertone that talks about us destroying the Earth. And then we live on these cruise ships that we went on a permanent vacation on, and we've been generations and generations have been living on these cruise ships that are spaceships.
All the people are giant,
fat monsters sitting in chairs, and we can't move because we're so fat because
now that we're getting off sort of let's just officially say like the somewhat HVAC talk has ended about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We're getting into movie talking mode, but there was a Bruce Willis movie. I forget what it is, but
I'm gonna tell you exactly what it's called.
Some surrogate something, but anyway, they're like surrogates, and it's sort of the same thing where everybody's living in this like online world, and you plug into these, you sit down in this whole chair system, like a matrix style chair, and then you plug into this false world, if you will, and people just kind of walk around. They're not, let me rephrase that. It's not like they're plugging into a false world. You actually have like robot people going out and living your life for you.
Yeah.
But you're seeing what that robot is seeing.
Yeah.
It's outer body experience.
It is surrogates too.
It's a pretty good movie. It's worth a watch during the pandemic. Because in a little while, once we're all like giant fat blob monsters, we're going to have to get surrogates.
Peter S. says the trouble with organic food is they never say which organ they're made from.
All right. I have a question for anyone that works on Arzel.
The fuck is Arzel?
Oh, like the
zoning. Yeah. I have one system. I have one system that I'm having issues with, that I've had persistent issues with. Okay. Like once a year, I have what do they call it? I'm thinking it actuator in the zone board. I'm drawing a blank. It's too late. The actuator, I believe it is. It's basically you have the pump, and it's like directing the flow of the pressure right inside the zone board. Once a year at this guy's house, this is the third time it's gone bad. Why is it going bad? Just that zone. The other zones are fine.
No, is it the power? I bet you it's a power issue.
Yeah, reset it. No, it's weird.
Turn it off and turn it back on again. I'm going to tell him.
Turn the power off and turn it back on.
He just texted. I just got a text message from the guy right now. I'll respond to him, tell him to do that.
What's the power? It's 24 volts or 120?
24 volts.
Is it possible it's just a very active zone?
No, I mean, you,
For 208 and you're running 240 and you're only getting 17 volts to the actuator and you're burning it out.
no, I mean, the other two zones are working fine in the same zone board.
yeah.
So,
It's a
And
squeak.
on the same board, right?
The squeaky
Yeah,
D
same
felt
board.
fucked up.
That's weird. I always
very
found those interesting. I never worked on one. The air. This is the air, right?
yeah, air pressured.
Can't say I've ever worked on one.
Never even heard
They're
of it.
pretty neat when I looked at them. Never worked on one.
Never. Well, I think it's time we wrap this up, guys.
Yep.
What was that?
That was a firework.
Is that knowledge bomb?
Hold on.
I left the acetylene jug open.
Oh, jeez. Imagine.
Firework time? No. Monetized.
Are you in your second floor, or do you have two stories? Or
Me?
yeah, I was just wondering if you could like shoot up into your drywall a little bit right now.
Shoot it at the floor. You'd be
I
safe.
do not have two stories. I'm on the first floor. But no, I'm not going to shoot it up into my ceiling because then I would have a hole through my ceiling.
You need a
And
skylight.
it all would fall down on me. And we wouldn't even have enough viewers in here to make it a cool YouTube video.
Skylight, man.
Demonetized.
Way to go.
My bad.
Hey, Chris is right. What do you say we get out of here for the week?
All right.
All right, guys. It's a good show.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in tonight. Appreciate it. I think we had pretty good viewers in here tonight.
Yeah.
Numbers were good. That's cool. Thank you guys very much for the food you guys sent. And an excuse to drink beer. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace.
On that note.
Eat a lot of hot dogs, guys.
Wow!